Okay, I'll finish my reverse dailies later. We can play some Zenless while we wait, actually. While we wait for Az to get home. Let me open Zenless, do my dailies. Sorry, I need to open the launcher. Because the Hoyoverse launcher, for some reason, on my PC does not save under any real name. So I literally have to search the word launcher whenever I'm trying to find it. Yay, we're here, made it. Yay! Okay, let's go, guys. But yeah, we're just waiting for Az to get home, and then we will be starting the Proxy podcast with Josh and Az very soon. So, what's up, y'all? How you doing? Welcome in, VOD watchers. How we doing today? Nice to see y'all. We'll play some Zenless. Let's play some Zenless while we wait. Let's take a lookie. Oh, sorry, give me a second. My game is opening. All right, what's Josh up to? What's Josh doing right now? Let's see.
Where's my blues?
Let's stalk him.
I can go to 1 blue. If I go 1, 2, okay, yeah.
Oh, he's doing his weekly thingy. Okay. You know, honestly, I should do this too. Wait, you know what? That's so real. I have not done my weeklies yet. Isn't Deadly Assault actually ending today? I have mostly cleared it. I think I can get another... There's one of the stages I haven't gotten 3 stars on yet. I only have 2 stars, so maybe we could do that real quick. And try to get that last remaining star so we can get all of every remaining, every little bit we can for our Hugo funds. What's your poly looking like for Hugo? Oh, it's going. It's going. Hamburger. We have already kind of preloaded up. And we shall see. We shall see how it goes. But yeah, okay, wait, let's see. Yeah, so Deadly Assault. Yeah, I have 8 out of 9. I think I could get 9 out of 9. I just need to play this a bit better. I didn't play this very well the last time I did it, so let's try. Let's try, guys. Let's try to get 9 stars. Only 3 guaranteed copies, I think. It's okay, Hamburger, because surely we'll hit. Surely we'll hit, right?
Don't touch me.
Right, guys? Oh, wait. Wait, guys, give me a second. I need to swap my... I forgot. I need to swap my... swap to my headset. Because I usually use reverse for... I usually use my earbuds for reverse because there's an audio bug. But now that we're not... we're finished with reverse for tonight, I can swap back to my headset. Very nice. Streamer we can't see. Oh. Love the gameplay. Listen. Give me a second. I'm turning on my headset. The headset was the issue. Yeah, guys. The headset was the issue. Yo, why is my headset not turning on? What the hell? What is this? Give me a second. Oh. Wait. Give me a second. Wait, I can't hear! Why is the game not going through to my default? Why is it still... No. Okay, give me a second. I think I have to restart. I mean, you can't see it anyway, so it's fine. Let me restart my game and then you guys can see the game. I don't mind seeing Lycaon. Hey, listen. You can see some Lycaon and lighter on the screen instead, okay? Very beautiful art, courtesy of 34, the loot artist over on Twitter. Our goat for real. Wait a second, why can't I? It's because I have it muted. The reason the audio wasn't playing was because I had it muted. I'm not a clown, by the way. Okay? I'm not. I'm not. Okay? I'm not. As we say, age without scuff is not age at all. Guys, oh, it lets me continue. Oh, yo, hey, yo. Lit, let's go, let's go. Also, what's up? What's up, Grim? How you doing? You just missed the reverse. Yes, you did. We are just waiting for the Proxy podcast to start. Oh, I'm not a clown. We're playing 2 truths, 1 lie now? Hey. Hey. Guys. I'm not a clown, okay? I'm the court jester. Oh my god, I'm trying to fix my hair because my hair was in my eyes, but it's fine. Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm not playing this well at all. Yo, come back here. Come on.
Oops, sorry. Found your weakness.
Oh, I have no more.
No escape.
Find cover.
I don't have any more assists.
Lord, Nathan.
I need to use my ult to recover the assists. Okay.
Here's a taste
Okay.
of the abyss.
Anyway, they go now. Bye. Oh my gosh, Ron. Okay, no worries, Ron. Take care, and I'll catch you later. All right. Okay.
Never count out pub stat.
Very cool. We will go to Vivian, and then we'll go to Jane. And then we spin.
Here's our
All right.
You asked for it.
All right, guys. Having Chingy and ZZZ is giving me carpal tunnel. Yeah, good thing I don't have Chingy.
No. Get my dress dirty and you'll pay.
Okay. Come on. I need more quick assist, buddy.
Now,
Give me more quick
You're the
assists
prey.
because I need that for points. So, come on. Very nice.
Just this
Why
one.
wasn't there a second quick assist there? Very odd. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. One more.
let's make this quick.
Okay, I don't have enough. No, I don't have enough for a quick assist. I need ults. I need ults. Oh my god, am I not gonna be able to? Wait. I have a set ult. I have a set ult.
Won't be forgiven.
Guys, I don't think I can get 20. I think I have skill issue. Okay.
Notice me.
Okay.
Lord, Nathan.
Put your hands up.
It's fine.
Such a pain.
See, I thought that I was okay with getting 20. Wait. No, actually, it might be possible.
The final act
I think I just need to play
begins
better.
now.
I think I can do it as long as I play better. Come on.
No escape.
Yeah, I won't get it from this one, but... Because I made a lot of mistakes earlier. And then I should save some ults so I can have enough for quick assists as well. Okay, I did use up all my quick assists though.
Face judgment.
But if I can just do more damage... Okay, wait, what do I... Okay, performance point from perfect assists. And then stagger. What do you have leveled? I have a lot of things leveled. Is the wrong buff? Oh wait, did I pick the wrong buff? Wait, did I actually pick the wrong buff? Wait, give me a second. Which one did I... Wait, which one's better? For Jane For Jane, Vivian, Seth. Pick the anomaly buff? Really? Let's see. Okay. Okay, guys. Maybe it's brain issue.
Don't touch me.
Maybe I have a brain issue where I'm an idiot. Let's see if this is better. Okay. Okay. I am stuck. I don't have any more assists, so I should just I'll just attack.
Not even close.
Come on.
Where it hurts.
Come on.
I'll make it painless.
Okay.
Now-
Nice.
You're the prey.
We get our ult, so now we have a ult point back.
Oops.
Jake, prepare
Okay.
to face judgment.
Let's do this. Okay. We have gotten a lot more points.
Lord, Nathan.
So, this is actually looking better. This is looking better. Now give us some assists. Give us some parries. Thank you. Okay. So he's staggered, so we have no parries right now.
Who's the hunter? And
But
who's
that's
the
okay.
prey?
Oh, we will do this. Let's give Jane our buff. Wait, oh no, the buff went to
Don't get
Vivian.
sloppy.
Okay, well, whoops. It's fine. It's all good. We have the ether bonus anyways, so... Okay. Good assist. Okay, wait, guys. It's looking promising. It's looking promising.
Let's make this quick. Want some more?
Okay. Let's give a
your
buff to
weakness.
Jane. And then we
Here's
can
a
ult.
taste of the abyss.
Okay. Yeah, we got a minute left. Okay, we got this. Wait. This was actually brain issue. What the hell? This is so much better. Maybe it's possible for this one? Yeah, as long as I play well and I get some more assists here. Okay. Okay, but oh no. It's stunned. Okay.
What an eyesore.
It's fine. It's fine, guys.
For long, I promise.
You've had your chance.
Okay. Okay, let's go in. Let's use a Vivian. Use a Vivian stuff, guys. Oh my god, we're so close. Okay, we have 30 seconds left. We got this.
Yep.
Okay, let's go. All it took was changing the buff. I'm an idiot. I'm actually a certified idiot, guys. I'm so dumb.
You're the prey.
It was actually a brain issue. It was a brain skill issue. Oh my goodness. Well,
Here to face judgment.
let's go. Let's go, Seth. Finish us off. Whoo! All right. And as is home too, guys, it's perfect timing. Let's go. The glow up is insane. Yeah, I can't believe this, guys. You know what's crazy? Guys, it's so crazy how when you pick the right buff, you actually get points and do damage. Whoa! Did you guys know? Did you know that if you pick the right combat augments, you will do more damage? That's crazy. That's crazy. What skill did we use for the other two? I used the alt one for the Miyabi team, and then I used the anomaly one for the lighter team. I full cleared both of these very fast. Mind blown. It's insane. It's so shocking. Holy shit. Oh my goodness gracias. Wait, okay, let me see. Ha 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 ha. Dubadoo. 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 Oh my god, I just received so many messages. Alright. C6 lighter wasn't a carry, eh? I don't know what you're talking about, guys. Clearly, I got the other stars through skill. Skill, okay? Pure skill. Pure skill. And nothing else. Nothing else, actually. It was just skill. That's all. That's all it was. No money, no swiping, not at all, not at all. I played that like there was no tomorrow. Trust me. Trust me, guys. My streamer finally clears endgame. I know we ain't talking about Agekk count. What do you mean? Hey, guys, I do clear my endgame, okay? I clear my endgame in Zenless. It's like the one game where I do my endgame. Actually, I'll have you know. I'll have you know that this is... Yeah, the one game where I do that. So...
This is the path
Hey.
I follow.
Hey, I prove you wrong.
Lord Phaeton.
I prove you wrong today. Let's hear Shiu. I haven't done the Shiu yet. This time. But I do clear it before it goes away. 7 out of 9 is not clear? Hey, what do you mean? I got 9 out of 9. 9 out of 9, easy peasy. I think this is my second 9 out of 9. The other ones were not 9 out of 9s. I admittedly, I did not get 9 out of 9 every single time. Because up until now, I have always had one team that was just not as strong. Because I've always had my Miyabi team and then my lighter team, which can always full clear, you know, understandably so. And then the other one is the one that suffers a bit. She's entering her meta arc. Oh yes, for sure. For sure. Alright, Astra, what you doing? We chillin'? Oh my god, lighter's so hot. Sometimes I just use the phase changes to actually just admire. To admire my boy. Why am I lagging? Are you guys seeing this frame drop? Or is this just me? Is it just my PC or is it on the stream as well? Is lighter that's just that powerful? Is he bricking my PC? From his cake. Too much men on screen? I need more. I need more men on screen. I am waiting for Hugo Vlad to come out so that we can make our double D. Our double D. As is necessary. What's Josh do? Oh wait, Josh is watching Ryan Trahan. I love watching Ryan Trahan. Ryan Trahan is really cool. He's always so fun. Guys, you know like Ryan Trahan, he does like IRL like YouTube videos.
That's a nice view.
I genuinely cannot comprehend being as confident as he is in public, because I know like he is also kind of like a bit self-conscious in public too, but he's just so extroverted. He's so extroverted, like he can talk to strangers like it's nothing. And I'm just sitting here being like, I don't even want people to look at me when I'm gonna try vlogging.
Oh, they are live. Okay. Cool.
But yeah.
I'll just,
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, is this is this is awkward.
This is bad.
Oh, hi Josh. Hi Josh. How's it going? What's up? What's up? Where should I move by? Should I move my camera?
I gotta exit out of that.
Weak. You had to exit out. You're weak, Josh. Exit out. You're weak, Josh.
Let me. Are you still on my stream? Are you still on my stream?
Oh wait. Oh yeah. I am. Give me a second. Let me mute you there. I got so confused.
I got a new wallpaper for everybody.
Ooh, a new wallpaper. Ooh. That's so pretty. She's pulling. Is she pulling up her socks, her tights?
I think we can ignore certain aspects of the wallpaper and just really enjoy like the scenery and the ambiance.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, your camera's blocking a little bit of some of the scenery of the wallpaper, I would say. So if you could shift to the side, if you shift to the side a little bit, that would be nice. I would appreciate it.
Let me just
slide on over.
Yeah.
Slide on over. Oh. What? I was drinking coffee. I didn't.
Oh, bro. Oh, Yo.
I was drinking coffee. Chat. I promise. I was just enjoying my coffee, and then it just tasted really yummy because there was lots of sugar in it.
Likely excuse.
Brother, she liked it. Hey, yeah, I loved the coffee. It was delicious.
Hello?
Hi, Az! What's up? Also, I'm knocking Josh.
Let me
Definitely
accept.
not late.
No, what? Late? What's that? Time is relative, actually. So you're just really early for the next one.
That's
The next one.
the next one. Okay. Let me see what's going on here.
I got you. Also, oh my god, Josh, you know how we were talking about cams last time? And then I realized that I was actually, my cam was set to 720p instead of 1080p, which was why I'm blurry. But I changed it. So it should be clearer now.
Swag money.
This is why you got Vivian M6, because she's wife. 07.
Why
07 to that.
do I always choose the wrong thing? Devices. No. I did it right the first time. OBS virtual cam. Why is it? Oh, there it is. Now it
Start the
works.
virtual cam. Oh, true. Sorry, I need to also pop you guys out.
Chat, I need to. You guys know we have technical issues here. I need to make this go away.
Is it even a proxy podcast if we don't have technical issues?
No.
I also have stuff to turn off on my end, so.
Oh no.
Oh, it's share screen, right?
Share screen. Yeah.
Share screen.
Devices, virtual cam.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick, someone share their thing, so I'm not the only one here.
What do you mean? Wait, no, we are sharing. We are sharing. You just have to open it.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
not, okay,
yeah.
Hold on, I'll get it in a second. Bro, can it click the right button? There we go. Click. Amazing.
And then, perfect. Okay.
Is there a way to make it not pause my camera when I tab out of OBS? Or is that just not an option?
Wait, give me a second. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that works.
My camera doesn't pause when I tab out of OBS.
Yeah,
Does it
mine
not?
doesn't either.
Really?
No.
Mine does.
You're doing it
says your stream is
via
still running.
virtual cam, yeah? Not just through the OBS?
Yeah. Oh, but I'm doing it. Well, I'm doing it through share screen, right? Not turn on camera.
It should be share screen, capture device, virtual
Yeah.
cam OBS.
Yeah. Whenever I tab out, my camera goes dark and it says your stream is still running. We paused this preview to save your resources. Yeah. I know it's not paused for them. It's paused.
Well,
for me.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't think there's a good way for that. I think you just have to be on the screen or yeah.
This is so sad. It's okay. It works.
What the?
How do I show
Okay,
all
let
participants?
me-
Why doesn't this work?
Where are my friends?
Are you already on a knock knock with Josh?
Yes. Come join us.
Yeah. Will it let me join?
Return the app. And you
Did that
guys
invite
are-
you to my own, or did that actually ask to let me in? Age.
Oh, I think that just. Oh, I think you joined. You just came in. I think.
Okay, but now I don't see Josh here, so let me invite Josh. I love this.
Oh,
system
dude, I
so
think I left
much. It's
Josh's.
so good.
All
See how it
right.
is.
Send invite. Okay, did you get that? Action already taken?
It might just be a situation where I have to accept it on my end. Give me a sec. Oh, it's because I turned off the Twitch. Okay, hold up. Let me open up another tab. Yeah. I didn't accept it, so give me a sec.
That's okay. It says Age invited you. That's all. That's all that matters.
Because I clicked on Josh's just now, and then we were in one. But then
join.
okay, there you are. There you are.
There you go.
Hey, let's
And
go.
then I'm muted.
Oh, amazing.
Cool.
Wait. Did Twitch update the knock knock thing? To
No,
have the person's profile picture next to each chatter? Now I can
no,
tell
it always
that.
had that.
Oh, okay. Okay, I guess I've been looking at my own chat software and never at regular like Twitch chat thing.
No, because I usually look at Restream, but then I have like the Twitch chat popping up behind it on the left side.
Oh.
Wait, is this live? Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Are y'all siblings? Why? Because we all wear glasses.
Oh yeah, by the way,
could
chat,
be.
You guys are merged. You guys are merged now.
Yeah,
Be the best
behave.
behavior.
Behave. Best behavior. No
Except
gooning.
for the YouTube folk. We'll figure out something.
Yeah, I really wanna get the YouTube chat in the shared thing too, but
All that just means that YouTube needs to join us over on Twitch. That's what it means.
trying to convert.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
We should do some more Twitch shilling. I mean, I should now that
Really
I got partner.
I want to talk. I want to talk about that. That's one of the big topics.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
that's one of the big topics.
Wait, that's gonna be a topic? I didn't know we had a topic
Yeah,
list.
of
I just assumed we were
course.
gonna yap.
It's a catch up with everybody type of episode. Yeah,
I see.
because I think you out of us three have had the most stuff happen in the past week and a half.
I
Yeah,
have
bro
been
got
so
on the
busy.
wrong train or missed the train.
What? I don't. What? Who would miss their
Oh, yeah,
train?
what?
That sounds like such a stupid thing to do. So irresponsible.
Who would miss the train?
Who would
That would be
possibly
crazy.
miss the train? You know.
By
Only
the way,
only a fool.
am I hosting this episode? Just so I know before we like do the introductions, and I'm like, what? I'm hosting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lead us through it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let me know when you're recording or whenever we're ready to start. Chat, I guess beforehand, does it sound good on my end? Everyone sound equal, even, awesome, cool, steady?
It sound good on my end too. Oh, what the?
I love asking a question.
Oh, there we
wait
go.
Like 14 seconds to see what the response is.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yes, it's good. Okay, awesome. Amazing.
Yippee. But yeah, I already started recording like 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
Okay, so we can start whenever they
So yeah, I just
My bad. Oh,
No,
I don't
no,
have my
no.
lights on. Wait.
Yeah, get those lights on. We need the ambiance.
oh, I have balloons. I blew up 15 balloons 2 days ago, and now they're just in my room.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, like they're active. When you said blew up balloons, I was like, like you literally blew them up.
No, yeah. I mean, I expanded them. I expanded the
I
balloons.
heard none of
One
that.
way to. Oh, also, is your cam always going to be in that aspect ratio?
I can fix
make
it. If you don't like it, I can fix it. But otherwise, I'm just gonna leave it here.
Leave it. If it's standard, we'll rock with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because I can always adjust it in post. So no, you're good. You're good.
Don't
Okay,
say expanding balloons in a Gooner chat. Listen. I got nothing.
White as, yes, white as. Okay, are we do you want to start? I can start it.
Let's get it.
Yes.
So
Okay.
awkward.
All right. Ready and go. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Proxy Podcast. We're on episode 8. We're getting closer and closer to the double digits, baby. Let's go. Today we're just going to be doing a little catch-up episode, so no guest, and as far as I'm aware, no mini game, unfortunately. But don't worry, those will be coming back soon. We wanted to get a podcast out, and we've all been busy. So we're gonna do a little catch up. 8 already. I know, it's crazy. I know, time flies when you're having fun. But,
Exactly.
anyway, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. And yeah, so my name is Az. I stream on YouTube and Twitch, mainly Zenless Lore. But I'm starting my HSR catch up,
thought you
which
were
is gonna be like 70 plus hours of
Yep.
stuff to do.
Yeah, you've been
So, yeah, if
grinding
you're
it.
interested in that, I know. Check that out. Age.
Hi, I'm
you been?
Age. I also do a lot of Zenless content. I play Zenless, Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, and Reverse 1999. So yeah, it's a good time. And I post reactions and make covers on YouTube sometimes. So what's up?
And Josh.
I'm just here. Yeah, I'm just here vibing. Hello, everybody. It's your boy. I'll be honest. I've kind of just been grinding a bunch of videos. I have barely seen the light of day. But we're out here.
Real.
Doing our
I feel
thing.
that. I
Yeah.
really do. I have so many videos that I'm cooking up, and I had my first sponsorship video that I'll be able to post soon. Yeah, and
Let's
that was
go.
kind of intimidating. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I feel you.
There's a lot of back and forth, and I was like, "Am I doing this right? I don't know." But yeah. So, Ade, you just got back from a trip, though. Where did you go? How was that?
Oh my god, I went to Montreal with some of my friends for the weekend. We've been planning it for a while. It was just like a weekend trip, and then we went to the botanical gardens, the biodome, the planetarium, and kind of like chilled, ate some food. It was raining the entire time though. So then,
Oh, was it really?
yeah, it's really funny because basically the day we left, right, it started raining while we were on the train, and then it proceeded to continue raining for the entire trip. It wasn't like heavy raining the entire time, but it was definitely drizzling the entire trip. And then the moment we got on the train to go back home, guess what happened? the sun came out.
missed it? I was waiting for when you were gonna mention the missed
It
train.
all links like that.
I was like, wait.
Who would miss a train? What are you talking about? That sounds like such a stupid thing to do, you know? Only an absolute fool would ever miss their return train back home.
Exactly.
I would never,
I didn't know if
personally.
it was the one on the back home. I thought maybe it was like the first train. You know, like you don't know the train system yet, so you missed it. Was it the last one? Like on the way home is the one you missed?
It was on the way back.
Nice.
we kind of ran out of time because basically the entire reason we wanted to go to Montreal was to get bagels because apparently bagels in Montreal are really delicious. So then we were supposed to get bagels on Saturday morning and then bring them home. But then we woke up late on Saturday morning. So then we ended up having to rush to go to our plans that day, the Biodome and stuff, since there were like tickets and things like that. So then we were like, okay, it's fine. Our train leaves in the afternoon on Sunday. So we'll just go in the morning on Sunday to get those bagels. And then, so then we woke up Sunday and it started pouring. It was pouring, because it was raining the entire time. So then we ended up going to a cafe, getting coffee, and then went to get our bagels. And then it happened to take longer than we expected. So then we went back to Airbnb, grabbed our stuff, went to the train station, tried to catch our train, and then we showed up at the train station 2 minutes late to our train.
Oh no!
And then
I was like, that's not that bad. It was like 2 minutes late. At least it was like,
Yeah,
I was
two
surprised that
minutes late.
they left on time.
Yeah, we were
true,
like, oh my
true.
god,
I mean,
please,
I
delays?
use
Any
trains,
delays in
but-
chat? But there was no delays to be found that day, unfortunately. So yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Well, I'm more baffled at the fact that you guys planned the trip for bagels specifically. So how was the bagels? I mean, did it?
They
live
were
up to
so
hype?
good. They were so good. I mean, it wasn't the only reason we went to Montreal, but it was definitely a
Right,
big
yeah,
reason. We all bought like a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of bagels to bring back for family and friends. They were so good. Literally, the shop we ended up going to was a different shop from the original, actually. But then this shop, the bagels were so massive. You know how normal bagels are around like this size? They're like,
Sure.
Regular size. But these bagels were literally so ginormous. They're like, let's say you have like average. You have average like boob size, right? And then you have Grace's boob size. Okay. These bagels were Grace sized. Okay. So that's
Crazy.
like how much bigger
Yeah,
they were.
a lot.
It was pretty freaking lit. And then they were delicious even after sitting for 3 days.
back breakingly big bagels.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
But not as big as Yishun, huh?
Yeah, not as big as Yushuan. We might need a little bit more inflation.
A little bit more bagel to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, that's not a bagel. That's like a Damn it! I had it. What's those like? The ones where you eat the bread bowls out of, or the
like
soup out of. What is those?
Oh,
I don't know.
Sourdough.
I don't know the name.
Sourdoughs.
Sourdoughs?
Bread bowl. Bread ones. So, yeah, the huge like big, where you have the bread bowls. Anyways,
I didn't know they had a name. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would have a name though.
yeah. I mean, everything has a name, but.
But yeah.
You said you went to the botanical garden,
Mm-hmm,
or some.
Yeah, it
Did
was
you
really
take
nice.
pictures?
I took so many pictures. We were taking pictures the entire trip.
Did you do a photo dump on Twitter yet?
No, I haven't, because I haven't had a chance to go through all the pictures yet, because I came back from the trip and then I've been like planning for another last minute trip
Immediately
that is
back on the
this
grind.
weekend, and like literally leaving
I
tomorrow
heard about
morning.
This trip. I heard about this.
Another one?
Did you hear about this, Josh? Okay, go
No.
into it. Let's
Oh my
go.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I got invited to attend like the Reverse 1999 event in LA on Saturday. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Huge dub.
Yeah, it's a little bit last minute, so I have been scrambling to book everything and pack everything. I literally like found out about it the day before I left for the Montreal trip, which was on Friday last week. So then I spent a lot of the Montreal train ride and trip just on my spotty ass terrain internet trying to look up stuff and do research on flights.
Had internet?
Yeah, it had Wi-Fi. It wasn't very reliable Wi-Fi, but hey, I'll take it. Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi, you know? So yeah, I have just been
a little more
scrambling.
on the Reverse 99 event though. Is it kind of like, is it for like an anniversary, or is it like just a creator event, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's a
Party.
fan event for the 1.5 anniversary, which is the current patch. So then, it's funny. I actually discovered this literally just now because I just started the newest patch story. But so the newest patch's story takes place in LA, in Chinatown, LA, right?
Oh,
So then they're also hosting
where
like
the
a fan event in LA for this patch story, which is like
Got you.
really
Okay.
cool. I thought it just was in LA because everything's in LA, you know, but
Right.
yeah, so it's a fan event and it's
Where's
free.
it at in LA?
It's at the Newhouse Hollywood location. I think that's like a venue that hosts a lot of events. So if anyone's a Reverse fan and watching this live and in LA, tickets are free. And it's this Saturday, so come on by.
If only I had infinite cash.
Oh my
and
gosh.
knew about it earlier, then I would go, even though I don't play the game.
I am going to be on ice soup for the next 6 months at the very least.
Yeah, I'm sure. And sleep.
Yeah,
Eat sleep for dinner too. Yeah.
of course. But yeah, it's
Well, Josh,
I'm excited.
what have you been up to in this
Yeah,
last?
man, I went to Costco yesterday.
Yo,
Dude, you
let's
have
go.
a Costco membership? No
Hey.
way.
Costco, baby.
Yo, what you get? What you
No,
get? What you stock up on?
I got sushi because they make sushi now.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I mean, at least
Wow.
in the around my area, they started been making sushi. I don't know why, like it's gone like super bougie, or at least like
Costco.
like Costco's, they've been getting more increasingly like more bougie. And then like I went over to this, not my regular Costco, but this other Costco, because they had like the nicer stuff. And then right next door to the Costco, maybe like a 5-minute drive away, they had this like crazy mall complex.
Oh,
And I kid you not, and I was telling my chat earlier about this, I kid you not, like 50%, if I were to take a census, 50% of the women were walking dogs. And then the other 50% of the women were going over to the women with the dogs and petting them. Like it was the most like, and funny enough, kind of related to LA. It's like the most like Hollywood, like Beverly Hills type of like neighborhood I'd ever been in. And I just,
it was a
Yeah,
bizarre
that's-
experience,
that's
like you
crazy.
walked out of a movie.
no, exactly. No, it dead ass was. Yeah.
there's
They-
whenever
they-
I went to. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, I was about to say like it doesn't have Erewhon, but it has like the salad
Erewhon.
place.
I just found out about Erewhon over the weekend. I did not know it existed. It was
When you go
bizarre.
to LA, you gotta get the Bieber shake for us, and then you gotta give us your rating.
the $20 beaver shake.
Yes.
What is?
For those
what
who
is
don't
the
know,
fever
it's like
shake?
it's literally like just a super fruit vegetable like shake thing that they just toss in like the most expensive crap that you could think of to toss in a shake.
okay.
That's like, they just like literally toss that shit in, blend it,
Call it a day.
boom, Haley Bieber shake.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Well, I'll try to see if I can spot one. It's gonna be a
Pretty
very
spot-
hectic
I think there's
weekend.
only like one or two locations. I don't know if it's like a whole chain, but everyone's all should have like a shake station. At least that's what I remember of people visiting.
A shake
Haven't gone
station.
myself.
I'll see
Yeah,
if there's
they
one
li-
nearby.
It's like it's a super like high end. It's probably one of the most expensive supermarkets in the U.S.
That's
They have
so
like
weird.
they sell like a single strawberry for like $50. Like it's the most bougie thing I've ever seen in my life.
$50?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like this amazingly delicious strawberry that's like kind of bigger than a normal strawberry, I guess, but it's like $50 for one or something similar to that. It was
No,
It's
no,
nuts.
thank you. You know how many pulls I could get for?
Yeah, you could get like 20.
Yeah. True.
Hey, the anniversary's coming up. All right, we can get.
Oh,
double
true. They
that
might
now.
reset. They might
Oh,
reset the double
yeah,
bonus.
there you go. Reset. The
Ooh.
great
I'm curious what
reset.
they're gonna do for anniversary. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Enough about ourselves. Yeah.
Back to what you guys really care about.
Yeah. Back to the title of the podcast. Yeah. So we haven't been together since 1.7 started, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about 1.7
yeah.
yet.
We haven't. We literally haven't talked about
okay.
1.7 at all. I don't think. So we'll start with age.
Me.
You played it, right? Did you play it before you went on the trip?
Yeah. I played. Oh my god! I literally, I had a like 14-hour stream before I left on my trip because I was determined to finish the story before I left, and then there was also a lot of like chaos that happened that stream. So it was. It was oh.
Hold on.
No worries. No worries.
Oh, no worries.
Say hi. Yo, what's on
Welcome in,
LG?
Raiders.
Yes, sir. Hello, folks. You are now enveloped into our three-headed glob.
Yes, welcome in. You're not allowed to leave now. By the way, this is our Zenless cult. You have been indoctrinated. You've been assimilated into it.
You will be refined.
You will be refined. The creator will
you guys will be
refine you if you
refined,
join us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah. As muted. I want to know what Az is saying.
I'm just saying hello. I was saying hello. Thank you, Raiders.
Welcome in, Raiders.
Yes. What? Sorry, I did not expect that to happen. Thank you, gamer. I appreciate it.
Yes,
So much.
sir.
Big heart. Big shout out.
Yes, big heart. Everyone, go follow.
Yeah, everyone go follow ALG, like just as a whole. Very good.
I put the shout out. Hopefully, it showed up in your guys' chat too. I don't know how that
should.
works.
Yeah, it does. And not only that, like, also to, give a nod to the boys over at the Losing the 50 pod, because,
Yes.
there are neighborly next door neighbor podcast, and they host a bunch of really, really good conversations around more Zenless Zone specific, combat, meta, updates, current event stuff. So
Very helpful guys.
we goon over
Yes.
here. I'm sure they do their fair gooning, but we goon harder.
we will have a goon off.
Well,
I don't know about that one, Age.
I don't know that one.
You know what? I think your partner status needs to be revoked. I'm kidding. Yeah. So you said you did a 14-hour stream before you went on the trip.
Yeah, it was very chaotic. At one point during the stream, I got rated by like 4K, a 4K viewer thing. And I was so overwhelmed. I actually blacked out for like half an hour.
Was it Bob or?
No, it was Aztecross. So they don't even do gacha games.
What?
Yeah, I think someone someone redeemed the raid. Use channel points to bring them over, and I was losing my goddamn mind. I'm still so grateful. So grateful,
Dude,
for that.
That's awesome. I love Aztecross.
Yeah, it was so cool.
What content did they do?
They play like lots of.
I mean,
oh no, as you go.
yeah, you go.
No, you go.
They do a lot of Destiny content.
Destiny, okay, for
Yeah.
sure.
And they're trying out like new games and stuff too.
Yeah, because Destiny's on the.
But yeah, it was
not doing so hot right.
Gotcha.
But anyways, sorry. Back to the 1.7 though. Yeah, so I streamed for like 14 hours. It was so messy because you know how we talked about this before. When you stream for too long on YouTube, you have to split the VOD. So then I split the VOD.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So I did that.
Did it work?
No, it worked. It worked. But then I don't even wait. What happened? I think was it my internet? I think my internet like crashed. near the end. This is the second time that it's happened in the recent patches, by the way. Like at the end of 1.6, when I was finishing Trigger's agent story, my internet crashed literally on the last line of dialogue. I was one line of dialogue away from finishing the story, and my internet crashed. So then when I went back the next day to finish it, there was one line of dialogue and it was done.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then something similar happened again with the on
Oh no.
last Thursday. So yeah. Anyways, story though. The story, I had a great time. It was a very bizarre experience for me because it was such a chaotic stream. So honestly, a bit of a fever dream playing through it, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a nice end to what they were building up in 1.6. There are still some like loose ends for some of the plot points. There's a lot of loose ends.
There's a lot of loose.
But in terms of like Hugo and Vivian's character arcs, I am pretty happy with them, and they were nice. It was nice. And listen, I will never complain if Hugo's on my screen with Lycaon.
Right, especially if he's tied to a chair.
Yeah, and then Lycaon's leaning
Like
closer.
what? We're like, what are we doing? Bro looked up, gave that crazy ass smirk. They even had the hot like breath from his
evil
exhale.
Hugo whispering in your ear. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah,
I lost.
I know.
I lost.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
It was enjoyable.
Josh, what did you think?
For me, I was looking forward to, of course, how they tied up a lot of the storylines in part 1, but as this is the, pretty much the penultimate. No, this is it. Is that what it is? Penultimate is the last or penultimate second last. Excuse me. This is the patch leading up to 2.0.
Yeah.
The transition.
I was looking at how they were going to set up 2.0 and who they were going to bring in, what kind of concepts they were going to bring in, what ideas, terminologies that they were going to bring to help bridge us over to 2.0. And of course, I wasn't expecting, and I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about her very shortly. Yishun showed up very quickly to start off the part 2 story, and I was very,
have
very
some
happy.
words.
Yeah, actually, no, I completely forgot about that until you brought it up again.
I do have. So I'm gonna wait. Until you like finish your story thing, and then I'll do my low rant.
Okay. Because for me, of course we want to marvel at the amazing character design.
The bountiful character design.
The bountiful, yes. The power creep.
Yeah.
But and again, this is my own opinion. When I first heard her when she started speaking, like, I don't know if it was like the software that they used to record or something. It sounded a little bit more robotic for
really?
a character than at least my interpretation, and maybe that's just me. Maybe it's my headset. Maybe it's my maybe it's the software or something. I don't know. But to me, in my experience, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for her to speak. And then she sounded a little bit more like monotonous than I was expecting her to be. I wasn't expecting like Jane Doe breathing down like your neck and ears, like, I wasn't expecting that. But I was expecting something a little bit more along the lines of, it when it comes to Chinese American, or like, let's say, more central Chinese American. I'm not saying that they have to like have an accent, but like there's like a way that they enunciate English words, and I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if we could get some of that, like, Chinese to like American or Chinese English sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? Tonalities and and intonations and stuff like that. I thought would have been a really cool touch, for me. But not a bad voice, of course. Not saying that, but that was my first like gut impression of her. That was like, oh, this is something I was like wasn't expecting out of her. But overall, she had a great entrance.
Yeah, interesting. Apparently, a lot of chat agreed that I guess some people thought that she sounded AI-ish. That's crazy. I actually didn't get that vibe at all. I really enjoyed her voice. I do think it would have been cool if they did do that like what you were saying. But I don't. Have they ever done that? I mean, I think it would be cool, but did they do that for Leeway, like in Genshin, or
no?
Like have different accents for characters? You mean?
Yeah, and like the Ian dub or like the Xianzhou for HSR, did they do that there either?
See, I actually thought that they were kind of doing that with Yishuan because, like, I know she doesn't have a super heavy accent, but she definitely has a bit of an accent when she speaks, which was something that I did notice and liked. I think that might also maybe have something to do with why she sounds a bit more monotonous, because maybe, I don't know if English is the first language of the voice actor or not, but sometimes when people are speaking with a bit more of an accent, it might, they might not sound as natural sometimes because they're trying to enunciate a certain way. So maybe that's one of the reasons why you thought that, or people might feel that it sounds a little bit more monotonous compared to normal. But yeah, I honestly didn't really think about the voice at all. I do have thoughts about Yishuan as a whole, in terms of the patch though, that and I didn't remember until just now. But I know Az wanted to talk first, so Az, you can go first if you want. I can come back after.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my other pair of headphones because these are yelling at me that the battery's dying.
Well, I mean, I could very quickly say my point first while you're looking for it if you want.
I found it. Good. I'm just gonna plug these in. That way, these can charge, and if these die, then I can swap, and then we'll do.
All right.
We'll swap. Anyway, so I actually, this is the lowest rating story that I've given any of the story patches, and that's not because I didn't enjoy it. I did still enjoy it, and I said this on Twitter. I gave it a 6 out of 10, and the reason why was because a big part of it was there wasn't really a lot of lore for me to bite into and kind of theorize about, because it was a lot of just watching the setup happen that we saw in 1.6, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. However, it did kind of feel like they could have written this in a way better direction without including Dina. Because
I have a point on that after.
I'm gonna be honest, Dina's character was not really it. I think Dina actually, the way that they wrote Dina and her group of the Exaltists gave a very, very poor impression on what the Exaltists are. They used Dina as the first real introduction to people as to who the Exaltists are, and she technically isn't with the real Exaltist, because the branch that she's operating is already dead. It died with Landon. So she's trying to scrounge what's left and do her own little operation. And it just didn't really feel good. It didn't feel like an introduction for the main faction, main enemy group that it should have been. So that I didn't really enjoy. That brought it down a little bit. This didn't bring my point down, but I thought it was really funny that when we were on the roof after the Yishwin interaction, or maybe it was a little bit before or whatever, and they escaped.
In a car? I saw that.
And they drove off, and I said, "A car? We're on the top of a skyscraper. What do you mean a car?"
No.
Did they need a helicopter?
No. They found a fissure to drive into. They had the path.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I was like, "There must be an accident." And then chat was like, "No. There was a sound effect of a car." And I was like, "There's literally no way. I'm telling you right now, it was not a car. That was an accident. They definitely been. Yeah, it was a flying car that came in." But anyway, yeah. So during that interaction, again, I thought I was gonna really like Dina because they they introduced her as like, oh my god, she's like kind of a leader of the Exaltists. And I was like, oh, what? That's crazy. And then she was like literally just fodder. So that was not cool. But the introduction to Yi Xuan. Okay, let's talk about that. I thought it was cool. She came on screen and she ore farmed, which, you know, classic. When did they not do that? But then she dipped immediately. Like, it felt way too forced. Even at the end, they were like, yo, the mayor, yo, I have someone that's going to train you. You should go talk to them. Yi Xuan comes in for 5 seconds. Hey, I want to talk to you. I'll do that later. And then leaves. And then comes back later and goes, hey, go on this errand with me. I'm going to train you later. And then leaves again. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Can we get like a proper introduction? There was nothing. There was like no actual food there. And I understand why they did it this way. And I or at least I think I understand why they did it this way. Because in the dev talk, okay, the Chinese dev talk, which was like way longer than ours. It was like an hour and a half long. They talked about how the community has complained that sometimes character introductions will happen and they will not know why we're so close to them. The main example being Astra. Okay. Because by the time that she came in on the story, we technically already met her through Snap when she was controlling Snap in the bank.
In the event.
And so for the people that didn't either pay attention to the event, didn't read it, or didn't play it, had no idea. So by the time we met her and we were like, she was like, oh, we've already met before, blah, blah, blah. Then everyone was confused. And so they said that they're trying to do a better way of like introducing newer characters as opposed to doing like the little teases like that because it can be missed. But they need to not do it like this, where they literally just
it's like this. Bye.
Yeah, where she comes in and says hello, and then there was no reason for her to be there. Her reason was I wanted to just see how you are, and then said we had a cool aura, and then left. Like I feel like that part as a whole really could have been written a lot better.
Agreed.
So yeah, that part was a point down. Another point was they never actually explained how Hugo didn't die from the fall. They never said how he got out of the hollow. Which I'm assuming it's just he fell in a fissure. But they didn't actually explain it. So he just showed up and was like, Lycaon was in on it. And it's like, okay, cool. You did get thrown off a building, though. So how did that happen? How did you live that? But, yeah. Overall, it was still very fun. It was a very fun patch. I enjoyed it. There's just a few things. Mainly, the big thing that brought it down was the introduction to Yi Xuan and the fact that the Exaltists now have an impression of being like pushovers.
Yeah, I actually, like, on the Dina point, I actually kind of, like, thought about this too, and I think I mentioned it when I was playing it as well, but I feel like the entire Dina Vivian story arc kind of played out in a really similar way for me to Anby and Twiggy's character arc. Like, as I was playing it, I know, like, there's different scenarios, but there was just like, they kind of like how they had their parallel paths and then they kind of like diverged their paths and then came back together to have this sort of conflict in the end. I know that's a very like general like overview thing, but just I think the way that it played out, I don't fully know how to describe it, but I think especially after having just played Anby's character story in the previous story, maybe it's also to do with the fact, like you said, that I didn't feel like Dina was a particularly strong character on her own. I feel like Dina's entire, personality and her entire story was kind of reliant on her just being really jealous of Vivian and the fact that she kind of turned out for the better. And then I saw a lot of like parallels between Dina and then Twiggy in the same sense that Twiggy also was really jealous of Anby and how they kind of were on the same path. And then one of them ended up having like a better outcome and then came back to kind of like have this like not last minute, but like a very like end of the line Hail Mary to try to find some purpose to essentially like give their life purpose and then ended up, going boom. So that was like one of the things I didn't particularly think that was super strong about the patch. Because like you said, in terms of the story itself, we didn't learn too much apart from what we already knew before. They did gloss over a lot of things, like you mentioned at the end of 1.6. They didn't really elaborate too hard on exactly what went down with Hugo's plan. They just kind of explained like, oh, Lycaon was in on it. He was helping it. To be completely honest, was just gooning really hard while I was playing this entire thing. So I didn't notice at the time. But after hearing you discuss that, it does feel a lot emptier than my initial reaction to everything that was going down, because Hugo's character arc was cool. And then we did learn a lot about Hugo as in his terms of his philosophies, I guess, and who he is as a person. And then we also learned a bit more about Vivian and get a bit of depth for her character. But apart from that, they never really went down. I thought they were going to, explore more of the whole Yishuan mayor storyline that would lead us into 2.0, right? So then when Yishuan showed up, I was like, oh my God, okay, it's time. It's time for us to learn more about 2.0. Like what's going on with the mayor, what's going on with everything as a whole, what's going to lead us into having to go to the new region and wanting to figure out like the truth of what's going down there. And then, like you said, she just disappeared. And then actually I completely forgot that she was in the story until the very end, in which we just kind of like talked to her, and there was a bit of a nothing burger there. So yeah, like plot wise, yeah, it really wasn't that strong actually, now that I've had some time to hear your guys' thoughts about it too. And I've taken off my lens, my gooning lens a little bit.
Glasses.
Yeah, and I want to quickly from YouTube side, I'm not trashing 1.7 story. I'm still saying that it also, okay, let me get into this.
Nah, we're doubling down. That shit was class.
I am going to double down. I do, because there are a lot of writing issues that are showing up within the most recent stories. And I'm not going to act like that they're not there. Okay, I still love Zenless. I still love the story. Just because the writing like has been a little messy recently doesn't mean, and like and that I'm saying that doesn't mean I love it any less. But you have to give feedback when feedback is needed. Okay, so I 100% believe that the reason why this is a little messy is because of the fact that the TV mode, when it was removed, they did have to pivot. Okay, they mentioned that. They've said it multiple times. They've had to pivot drastically from what they were doing. Like, for example, I guarantee you that they probably had an entire TV mode for when we got to Hartman's little like thing when we were there with Vivian, because we didn't interact with anyone, we didn't see the venue, we didn't do anything there. And so I guarantee you a lot of that was TV that was just straight up ripped, and they didn't have time to replace it with the new Bangboo Fall mode or like whatever, due to the fact that they're like, okay, let's hard focus on 2.0. So I do think that they are like a lot of the stuff that we are complaining about now will not be present in 2.0 just because they are really trying to focus in and have 2.0 as like a proper relaunch of the game. Has like 1.4 is like a soft boot. 2.0 is going to be like the full boot, because now they're going to be able to start getting their foot underneath them on how they're doing things without the TV mode. So I don't think that the devs are like caring less and they're just making more mistakes. Like, for example, the car on the skyscraper picking them up. But one thing that I will say is, again, I'm not hating on the story, okay? I'm just giving feedback. One thing that now let me just say what I love about the story. I do like that they did kind of expand on the Exaltus a little bit. We do now know that there are different branches and different regions that kind of operate under their own little thing. And so that was cool. We learned that Landon was actually the one who created the original prototypes of the serum. So the serums were technically created under Landon, so that's cool. We have a name to that thing now. What else? We know a little bit more about sacrifices. Technically, now I understand why sacrifices are not the only sacrifice that's labeled in game. Is Bringer, and I think I understand why now. Because even though they're calling the other like sacrifices, they're technically failed sacrifices. because the only successful one so far has been Bringer, and what counts them as successful is when they keep
Sentience.
their individuality, they keep their sentience. Yes.
Yeah.
So Bringer is literally the only one listed as a sacrifice. Everyone else, the robot one, Dina's, what else? Is that literally it? I think that's it. Those two
Yeah.
are counted as ethereals. They're not counted as sacrifices, even though in game they are referred to as a sacrifice every single time. So
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's like the game's understanding of like what it is
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So that's cool to know, like why that happened. What else?
Really quick though. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Finish your point. Though.
No. You go.
Because I like, if I recall in the story of 1.4, like, and this might have been the difference between what we see as a fully realized sacrifice and not. He got injected with a second serum. No.
Yes, but he kept his sentience the first time. And also, I did because
That's fair.
I'm literally writing. It's almost done. I'm making an Exaltus video right now that I'll be posting before my 2.5 hour season 1 recap.
Okay.
But the serum was like the same color and consistency as the one that Sarah shot in him. So I don't think those were two separate. I think it was she just gave him a second dose because he was like kicked down, and so that was kind of like a get back in the fight type of deal. Especially because she didn't say 2 different serums were successful. She just said the one. And I can't imagine that they would want to test one serum when it's mixed with a different serum, because that would technically give different results. So I do think that it was the same, which is P07 is the successful serum. Okay. But yeah, so there's the answer to that. Where was I before you asked that?
Sacrifices.
What was I saying?
We were wrapping up the sacrifices.
The siblings power.
That was
So we can
reveal?
manipulate ether energy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I said out on my stream afterwards, like obviously I was hyped and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? But then when they're like, oh, you're just manipulating ether energy, I was like, oh, okay. So here's the thing. It makes sense. I'm not saying that it's like this is the answer to like literally everything, but the fact that we can manipulate energy, like ether energy, does kind of tie in with a few things that I was curious about. One, being it does explain why we survived Bringer's little ether explosion, because we used the eyes to just manipulate the ether energy to not affect us. And then also, technically, the reason why our eyes did the little thing when the sacrifice tried to assimilate all machinery was because Eos was nearby. Eos technically counts as machinery. But the reason why Eos didn't get absorbed was because we probably,
have some
passively,
connection
without knowing, used the power through Eos to not have Eos be connected. And that's why we had our eyes do the little flicker thing the same way that it happens the other time that we use the powers, when Bringer did it and then when we did it here. Because the little glitch thing happens every time we use the power, not just the logo. I know the logo showed up. Okay, I know that's new, but I do think that they will definitely still say that we're using the power without having that logo come up. Okay, that logo comes up when we overclock ourselves. Okay, that's when we go crazy with the power.
That's when we use a global passive.
No, we're parrying it. It's our parry.
Yeah, exactly. We're parrying it. I do think that it would be really interesting if it ties into the thing that I've mentioned before, where the fissures are too convenient. I do think that the fissures, we are actually still creating the fissures without knowing. Passively, if we can manipulate ether energy, then there's nothing saying we can't affect ether to create a fissure. Because there's been way too many instances in where we're saved by a fissure every single time. And so if that happens, right, where we're just passively doing it on accident, then it's because we're manipulating it.
Yeah,
so I think that would be cool.
America Chavez type of moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking with portals.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's more that I could go into on like the MC's powers, but I don't. What do you guys think? What are your guys' take on everything I just said?
I was curious. I kind of wanted to ask you, since you know more about it. But you know how the Exaltists are so kind of obsessed with combining humanity and the power of the etheric matter. So is it in a way, us, the siblings, are we in a sense kind of like a successful experiment that maybe the Exaltists are trying to replicate? Do you think?
I think we were created to counteract the Exaltist. I think that's what Carol was actively trying to go for, but due to what we can do, the Exaltist want to be able to use it for themselves, and that's why they kidnapped Carol. Because because technically Carol's not dead. We don't have confirmation that Carol's dead. They said that she was taken by the hand during the fall. So there is a chance that maybe the serum is successful because Carol's like helping them. Not on like her own, like she wants to, but like she's literally being tortured too. So I think that would be interesting, but I don't think that, I think that our power was originally created to counteract what they're doing. But now, yes, they are pursuing it to try to do their own thing.
Okay. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
I'm brain dead.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for your 2-hour lore recap.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be basically me telling if you've never heard of Zenless before, you will be able to come out of this video knowing everything and ready for season 2.
Okay.
I'm basically gonna be telling like the entirety of the story as like I'm telling you a story over a campfire. It's not going to be me like ranting out or like explaining everything in like super detail. It's me giving you
a general overview,
the literal story. Like yeah. So I'll be narrating it like from the very beginning. Like technically an unknown time ago, there was the war that collapsed like the old civilization, and it caused hollows to appear.
And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
And then everything changed when the Imperials attacked. Yeah, so that'll be super fun. But yeah. Josh, because you said, I'm curious, you were one of the people that said that you didn't really know the Exaltist too much when 1.6 happened, when they started name dropping the Exaltist, right? So I'm curious, what was your impression of the Exaltist after Dina? I know I said I was like worried that it made them look like a pushover, but what did you think?
To me, I was kind of more focused on the character in and of herself, more so kind of like to Asia's point, where, I didn't necessarily like directly, made her out as a reference with the Exaltist. More so, I'm just like, oh yeah, she's just literally a tool for Landon and a tool out of the system that basically crafted her to now be who she is, and all the psychological, like I'm like looking at her and what she's saying, I'm like, bro, are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Because what you're saying doesn't make any sense to a regular person, but like
she was on some copium,
like she is the definition of daddy issues, because that's how they crafted her to be, right, within this messed up society, and to now as kind of that foothold, utilizing that, her as essentially a glorified plot device. Now we get to see, the Exaltists in such a way that some of the chatters are like, yeah, but like we'll get to see like what they are now in the future, and I'm very hopeful to see, like, and to you guys, to my chat, you guys know I'm a huge anime fan, and hey, I'm not gonna say they ripped off Fire Force, but the White Clad is eerily familiar within like the tropes, like even some of the designs. You take a look at the 2.0 trailer of the head priestess Exaltus looking character. He looks baller, by the way, but I'm like, he looks very, very similar to, some of the white clad members, and I'm just like, I hope that, the execution of it goes well, and like the aura and the presence, right, really falls through, because I can see from your perspective, right, as that from what the exposure we get from Dina, man, it doesn't seem like, and when it came to Sarah and Bringer, they seemed even that much more menacing in that sense. So Dina somewhat was a step back, but understandably that Dina was coming from this, broken branch, didn't have a lot of resources, really is just like scrounging and hanging on by this like last thread of like her identity as as a daughter, as an Exaltus member, right? And just us clipping that last little thread, like, understandably isn't going to be as impactful, right? The dog's already dying in Minecraft, so we got to put him down, versus like really going up against a force, or seeing them up front, face to face. So
I will say, what Dina's character did for me was make me feel awful for Camille. Literally, Camille. I was
Camille
like,
just took L's left and
rest
right.
in peace. I was like, I'm so sorry. Your sacrifice was
for
worth
nothing.
Literally nothing. I took 3 clips, and it is within the span of 10 minutes. It's Camille says her speech. Camille says, "I love you." Camille dies. It was Camille sacrificed herself for Dina. Dies. Dina kills herself. All within this like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, there's no way. I was like, please tell me this is not gonna happen. But yeah, I think, funny enough, I said that it was a poor introduction to the Exaltus. I think if they actually did this in an earlier patch, and they kind of used them before they did the Sarah Bringer thing, and then used Sarah Bringer as like an example that there is a more powerful branch, then I think it would tie in a little bit better. I think the reason why it feels, or it leaves a bad taste in my mouth right now, is because the entire point of season 2 is the Exaltists. Like they literally said, like season 2, we're going to learn the reason the HDD was created and the true plan behind the Exaltists. So if they're trying to set the Exaltists up now, like they're being now the like bringing to the forefront, I think it's weird that this being used as a way to usher us into that plot line was as like poor as it was. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like it was better here than it was than it would be if it was placed earlier. But I do think that the Exaltist will be executed correctly in season 2, especially because they have a literal like actual base.
Yeah, and they have the actual like people. Like we saw them in their like outfits, the cult outfits, and we saw Sarah lurking herself. Yeah, because I do.
Bangboo, I wasn't. Oh, sorry, you go. Yeah, I meant to mute.
Oh no, I was just about the. Yeah, like the idea of bringing up the Sarah and Bringer first. Yeah, I 100% agree. They, to me, are like the highest kind of power that we know of the Exaltus thus far, right? So then going from someone like Sarah, who has been consistently so smart, so in power behind the scenes, she has caused so many things to happen in the story thus far, to go to this like kind of like separate subsect branch that, in a way, I know this is like a very harsh way of summarizing it, but was essentially a very troubled girl kind of like throwing a bit of a tantrum while trying to find purpose. Really like it does like diminish the whole Exaltus, the idea of the Exaltus a bit in my head in terms of their scale, I would say. I think it makes sense that, obviously not everyone in the Exaltus is going to be like Sarah and Bringer. But then if you're going from like the most powerful figure to like the less powerful figures, the less powerful figures are not going to really feel that impactful when they appear and when they're acting as the main antagonist. Because throughout the 1.7, I know like she was technically part of the Exaltus, like this entire branch, and that was like a big point. But at the same time, I didn't really feel that way. I really only saw Dina more as a plot device to kind of push Vivian's character arc forward. She more served the purpose of helping Vivian kind of come into herself and find out like what she truly feels and how she wanted to move on from her past, rather than actually pushing forward the storyline of the Exaltus or whatnot. Like that honestly to me felt like a much more like secondary, just kind of like, okay. And it's also like this whole, and on the side, you know, it's related to the Exaltus, and then, you know, like Camille is like, you know, sacrificing herself, but then Dina just kills herself anyway. So then it actually, that sequence of events too, also subsequently it makes me feel like Camille's character also served no purpose, right? Because her entire purpose was to try to, you know, show her saving and giving Dina this second chance, but then Dina just, you know, offs herself immediately after her sacrifice, so then you have no time to really absorb and feel that sacrifice because you're immediately just like throwing it away right in the next scene, which has a cool cutscene. And then immediately after that cutscene, then you have the big lore drop with Vivian and Faithin and the whole like, you know, ether manipulation stuff. So like the entire like last section there honestly felt like a bit rushed, I would say, because it's just like plot point after plot point, and you don't really get a chance to absorb everything that's going on at the time. So yeah, but as a whole, like, yeah, you guys were talking a lot about the Exaltus and their role and how it kind of how they're perceived now post Dina. And yeah, I definitely do think that the fact that I didn't even feel like the Exaltus was the main point of the patch, even though it was such like an important thing in the grand scheme of the story, I think says a bit about, you know, how the story writing was in 1.7 in isolation. And again, I also had the whole, like, I felt like it was just kind of like a reiteration of the Anby Twiggy thing, but with a different organization, right? In terms of like, oh, okay, there's like, they're going down their separate paths. And then now it's like one is going to suffer, and then the other one's going to be, well, like sort of fine, or at least is going to grow from it. And then, like I liked Vivian's arc itself, but then the fact that everything that was kind of contributing to Vivian's arc, it was more like throwaway, is a little sad, I guess, especially because it's related to the main story and the main concepts that have been trying to be built up, especially leading into 2.0. But I do 100% agree and think that they are probably kind of like washing their hands a bit of the rest of 1.x to really build up 2.0. Kind of like how Wua did, because I think like the latter part of 1.x for Wua was also very like, they just kind of like, okay, we're just going to focus on like the kind of new soft launch of the next big region, and we're going to really nail it. So I'm just really looking forward to hopefully them nailing 2.0 onwards and really being able to find their groove with balancing the lack of TV mode and them having to kind of restructure how they're going to tell the story. And yeah, I think that I have faith. I have faith in the devs, and I am really excited to see what kind of direction they're going to take the story as well. Because I do feel like they are... The thing about Zenless, it's I really don't know what direction the story is going, because it could go down so many different paths, you know, like just with the ether, the hollows, the concept of it as a whole. So I find that really exciting that there's so much unknown in the future that we can possibly explore.
I do think so. There's a lot of points I'm going to touch on for what you said there. But going to like the start of everything that was there, I was about to say it before Zinpai said it in chat, but I will give some defense to Camille's death during Dina's like arc thing, because I agree. I do think it would have been very cliche if Dina did actually change her mind from Camille like doing her sacrifice. So I think it was a great way to show that yes, sometimes people are too far gone. And there isn't really anything that you can do to change their mind.
I just wish they took a bit more time to let us like absorb it before going straight into the cutscene. Yeah, because I like Camille a lot. I think that Camille's arc was quite sad, especially with the results.
I agree. I did right before she did. I was like, why are you making me like Camille right when she's about to kill herself? In Minecraft. But I will agree. Okay, I don't think Vivian's arc felt forced. I will touch on my thoughts on Vivian's arc here. Because like you said, I do think that is interesting. I think I saw it as like, oh, this is gonna get more into the Exaltists just because I'm so like interested in what the Exaltists are doing. But technically, you're right. Technically, the Exaltists thing was kind of like secondary to it being Vivian's arc, like 100%. So taking it in that perspective, then my question is why I'm still upset that they didn't really give us an answer on how Vivian has her power. Which, like, I guess they can still go into that a little bit, but they didn't really touch on how she has this ability, which I was really thinking that they would. And also, they... okay. The entire time, they've been treating the viewer like they... like, up to this point, that they know what they're doing. Like, they can read, they can figure stuff out on their own. They're very quickly learning that a lot of the community cannot do that. Not like outing, like not shitting on the community, but that's just how it is. Not a lot of people read everything. Not a lot of people try to find the underlying meaning of a lot of the dialogue and text that's given. And it kind of pissed me off when the game tried to tell me no one would have thought that locket opened, when there was quite literally a divide down the middle of the locket where you can clearly see that it opens, and they're like, oh, it opens!
Oh my god, there's something inside!
It was with us
and I
the
was like,
entire time.
I was like, dude, it was, why are you telling it to me like no one could believe that this thing opened? It was so clear that this thing opened. And yeah, that was kind of annoying. And yeah, I was like, what do you mean it doesn't look like it can open? It literally has a divide down the entire middle section of the necklace. But yeah, I do think that they will do a lot better in 2.0. I know they're cooking up a lot of stuff with 2.0. Like you said, the direction that they could take the overall story of Zenless is in so many different directions, and it's going to be so interesting in how they actually do it. It seems like they are using 2.0 to, they said they're straying away from like the grounded a little bit, and they're going a little bit more on the mystic side, which we can see with like the mystic arts and Yixuan. So I'm really interested in how that actually all ties in, but I think that they are going to be going through different themes, obviously, with each season. So season 2 is going to be a little bit more like mystical than what we're used to, which I know is probably going to irk a lot of people. But then I think at season 3 and beyond, we'll be like going away from the mystical stuff for a little bit, and it'll be like a little balance between the two. One other thing that I think is interesting that they left open, which I think you touched on a little bit earlier, but I think it's interesting that they had Anby in 1.6 to deal with Hartman, because Hartman was the one doing the organ stuff.
Yeah.
And then Anby and Trigger had no follow-up. They had zero follow-up on Hartman at all. And not only did they not have any follow-up, we also didn't take care of Hartman. Because all Hugo did was destroy his, like, image in the public. But we didn't kill him. We didn't throw him in a hollow. We didn't do it. We literally walked out of his house. And then he was like, oh,
come back!
That's it. Because he didn't have any bullets in his gun, so he couldn't do anything. But I think it's interesting that, like Hugo said, okay, his family doesn't just like stop. They keep going until they get what they want.
Yeah.
So I think they left it, like they just left a clear opening to bring Hartman back at some point, during, like in some way. Which I hope is, and he's like, dude, where'd you leave him? Where'd you leave him? Let me go get his ass or something. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that we just straight up left. Like, we just left him.
We pieced out.
we just pieced out, and then now he's just like left as an open thing. But we did get to see a little bit more of Mr. Edmund on the TV. We got technically we saw less of him, but we got to hear him. We did get to hear him this time. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Mr. Edmund, because I'm assuming Mr. Edmund will be linked in with season 2 also. Since he seems to be clearly a part of the actual Exaltists and not what Hartman was. Hartman was chasing Dina, and the fake like branch, but admin seems to be a part of the real branch, like the strong unified branch. So I'm curious where that point will lead.
Yeah, like once we get the actual big players and tops involved, because so far they've just kind of been doing their own thing on the side. We've mostly just been dealing with the people who are trying to, like Hartman was kissing ass, right? He was kissing up. He was trying to get on Edmund's good side. So once we actually have the people with the power starting to make their moves in a real big way, it's going to be probably very insane and very scary too, because they have made a very big deal about how the people with the political power in New Eridu have been just running things exactly how they want, right? They've been doing all of these things to sabotage the mayor and his section, who he's obviously kind of like more on the good side, I would say, in terms of the people and less corrupt. I'm sure there's still probably some corruption going on there, but yeah, I'm just really interested to see like how the politics of tops and the organizations will also play into the new area. Because I know like the 2.0 area is still technically under the jurisdiction of tops and like all of the current organizations, right?
It's still within New Eridu, the Wi-Fi, the new area is the Wi-Fi Peninsula, or the Wi-Fi Peninsula, but the Wi-Fi Peninsula is within the Throne Quarter, which is technically where Jane's from. Like Jane's little ID says that she's from the Throne Quarter, so it's all still within New Eridu. It's not like we're like leaving and going to a whole new like place. So yeah, like PubSec and HIA is still active. And just tops in general, like all the tops companies are still going to be active in the new area. In fact, they even say it in the trailer. They talk about how Porcelain is kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? They
say inside the hollow,
like
there's like that old
aerospace
aerospace thing where they are like pretty active. That thing.
Well, aerospace is where the mining facilities are. That's where like the big factories are that mine Porcelain. But she was saying that tops have like the power with Porcelain. So that's going to still lead in with like tops is still going to be a big thing. And then if the Exaltists are so strong within tops, then that means Exaltists are using Porcelain for their own stuff. So we'll see.
Can't be anything good.
Goes to. No, it can't be anything good. But yeah, so that was 1.7.
The story.
It was very good. Oh yeah, did you guys do the flower event? I saw some people talking about the flower event.
Not yet, but you guys can talk about it if you want. Honestly.
I still have yet to do any. Is it actually like? Is there like lore really relevancy or anything?
Yeah, apparently.
There is. There's actually really cool lore relevance in this. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know if I want to talk about it because I want to let you. I want to let you.
Yeah, because me and Age,
especially if I'm the only one. Yeah, I wouldn't even really be able to talk to you about it. I'll just be like, dude, look at this cool thing.
We're like, oh my god, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So I'll do it.
Will do.
Do it like ASAP. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, occasionally I'll jump on, like, I gotta do my dailies, I maybe play some Fall Guys. I mean, hey, we haven't even recapped our Fall Guys Bangboo.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Weekend.
I wasn't able to be there this time, but how was it?
It was good. Well, we had some technical difficulties. I don't know.
Of course.
Is that why you guys slightly underperformed round one?
Wow, is that really where you're going with this? Interesting. So no, actually,
interesting.
We performed in round one because we got absolutely dogged on. My headphones just died. I cannot hear shit.
It's like tripping out.
Let me change my headphones.
Yeah.
Someone talk. You guys go.
Okay, but really quickly, just to kind of reintroduce the Fall Guys Bangboo event. This is the second time I've hosted a game night for 16 creators and creatives. Basically, just bringing a bunch of people around Zenless Zone Zero, including these folk. We had us three as well as a bunch of others in the very first one. I believe it was like 1.4 or 1.5 when they introduced the Bangboo Fall Guys game mode. And then now I hosted it again, brought in some old folk, brought in some new folk. This time we actually got some of the voice actors. We got
I
Sam
saw.
Slade. We had Henry Schrader, Courtney Steele. We were supposed to have Alice Humora, who's the voice of Nekomata, but had an IRL situation that they didn't allow them to attend. And then a bunch of other Zenless Zone Zero peeps. But yeah, this time around we had to like change up the format because it's all ranked. It was all ranked this time around, and you know, for
Matchmaking?
you guys are enjoying ranked, and that's the thing, the matchmaking. That, oh my god.
Was it longer because it had to
got
like
absolutely
MMR?
terrible. No, it's not even that, but it was just like the games, like physically, they are harder.
Oh, really?
Like, so from our preliminary round, we had to grind to diamond, because without it, there was like a queue like break off. So like if you were gold, you can't play with gold if you're diamond, you can't play with gold.
Rank. There was the rank difference.
Yeah. There's like a rank cutoff thing. So everybody had to get past the rank, which I mean, that's not hard. So we just did that. Everyone was in diamond, so we were all good. So then we actually start
the event,
the game night officially, and I guess as Ren and their team, arguably, I think this is why they had so much trouble. It's because they performed the best in the first 30 minutes. And they actually they were so good that they actually got to the tier higher than Diamond, which was like the Ether rank. If you guys want to correct me in chat, if it's the Ether rank or something, or like the whatever the highest rank is. So some of them were actually already in the highest rank, and majority of everybody else was not. Like, we just got to Diamond. So I believe that's where the skill discrepancy thing came
That's
through.
such a good excuse. So how did I never think of that? Holy shit. Dude, I should have thought of that right off the start. That's exactly why. That is exactly why that we had the performance issues in round one. That's right. Thank you, Josh.
I got you, man. I got you. No joke.
Legitimately, I think you might be right.
Actual MMR difference.
You guys on paper had the strongest team. On paper, you guys had the strongest team, and you guys were pretty much all Ether rank, right? You guys were all Ether rank. Whereas my team, I had the most ragtag. Oh my god, my team.
Not the slander. You're throwing your teammates under the bus, Josh.
Sam is screaming. Box is screaming. Kevin is such a nice guy. For those who don't know, my team was a hodgepodge of. We were like not Zenless Zone Zero creators except for myself. We had Sam Slade, Kekvin, who does HSR and sometimes Genshin, and now he's dipping his toes into Zenless Zone Zero content. And then Box 2, who majoritively does variety, gacha, and HSR. So none of these folk play Zenless Zone Zero, let alone the Bangboo Fall Guys game event. So we barely scraped into diamond. So
I can already imagine how that call would sound.
Meanwhile, I had Courtney, who was just the sweetest of the world the entire time, and also dived off on accident every time. Sorry, Courtney. It's
okay. She was inspired by you in the first one.
Right, that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Age. That's exactly right. Right. But so we had my team, I don't think we had the least amount of wins in the first round, but we went like 5 games in a row without winning, like a single point, because and I think you're right. We were in the higher elo, and I didn't even think about that. But hey, it happens.
You guys were just too powerful. They had to nerf you.
Well, but I will say we worked about, because at the end we had the most amount of wins.
Yeah.
But that's not how the rules work. So we lost. We got third. But it was still really fun. I will say the fact that the ranked mode is there, and now the other players like that you're being ranked with actually know what the hell the game is. It was a lot more fun, but it was definitely a lot more stressful as well, for sure.
Yes.
Every win's more satisfying when the competition is actually fierce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then survival mode, the platformer, was like twice as long. Because
Yes.
everybody knew how
Oh.
to play. Generally.
It was a death sentence if you got the survive, where it was the thing, because that thing would last like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It felt like
Everyone's
I don't know
doing
what
the
it was,
hopping
actually,
strat.
5 minutes.
One tile at a
And
time.
dude, 4 minutes and like not a single person's died, and it's like, okay, what are we doing? Like, when is this gonna end? When is this gonna end? I thought it was gonna be a lot harder to get to Ether. I didn't think it was gonna be a situation of you do 7 games and now you're in the highest rank, and then the highest rank goes to 99,000, whatever. I think it was 9,999. So I was gonna do a stream of like playing the Fall Guy mode until we reached Ether, and then I was like, okay, well now I'm gonna do a stream that's going till we reached 9,999. Like, stream doesn't end until we get that. After playing the tournament, I was like, guys, the stream is off. We're not doing it. I was like, it's going to take
half-hour stream. Let's go.
17 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
17.
gonna take 17
Oh.
hours. Over 17 hours for sure. Because it's literally, I calculated it as if I won every game. Okay, if I won every game, it would take 200 games. Around 200 games, and if it averaged about 3 minutes per game, it would take about 10 hours. That's if I got first place every single time, which isn't going to happen. And that's also if it's only 3 minutes, which once we got into the higher rank and the survival was 14 hours long per match, that's going to take way longer. And I was like, yeah, we're just not going to do it.
Well, they made an actual ranked mode, because I thought it was going to be, a lot simpler compared to, how most games will have, like competitive games will have a ranked mode, right? And you have to play a shit ton of games to get to the higher ranks. I'm impressed by the fact that they actually scaled it up so much, because I assumed it was just going to be something a lot simpler, kind of like the first Bangboo Fall Guys, where, you probably, like you said, you play, let's say like maybe 100 games and you can get to the max rank, right? But it sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just weird that it's like 7 games to get to the highest rank, and then that rank just has like points that go up to 9,999. It's like, okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, I also thought, I could have sworn they said it was going to be permanent.
I think they
But it
did.
says the event ends in 14 days.
Maybe that's just the limited rewards.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because I think it's probably going to be like the fishing event, right? Where the limited rewards end in 14 days, but then the event will get moved to the Redo Chronicles tab, where it becomes permanent, and then you can continue grinding up the ranked ladder at your own leisure.
Yeah, true. I didn't think about the limited rewards. That's good. That's a good point.
But if it is a permanent event, I mean, it is a permanent event, it'll be really exciting in the future when they expand it, because I think they will. I think they might add more game modes or even add more maps to the existing game modes, because now that you have a ranked system in play, right? They already set it up. It's done. It's there. Now you can do that with so many other game modes and mini games that they might make in the future. So the game is becoming so much more. It's like expanding down so many different paths.
No, they literally, during the dev talk, they were like, they made it a note to like talk about the Bangboo Fall Guys. They're like, we see you guys really like this.
Yeah, we see the hours.
We're gonna continue to give you. Yeah, exactly. we're gonna continue to give you guys stuff that you guys really like, and like all those metrics, like seeing Zenless Zone Zero take those in, like, and this might be another side conversation, because I just looked at the Not Cry dev talk trailer that came out, yesterday, and I think that's an interesting conversation. Yeah, Genshin Impact.
Oh, that one, yeah.
But yeah, like contrary to that, whereas that direction doesn't seem to align with what the players want. Zenless Zone Zero and their dev team are like, okay, yeah, this is clearly like apples to apples. You want more, we give you more.
Yeah.
So
And it's a really smart way to get players to continue playing the game as well, like just as a whole. Because like gacha games, they need the playtime, right? So then there's some other games they get the playtime through maybe expanding dialogue a little bit too much, not naming names, but having the mini games, right? It's like they see us being addicted to the mini games. They see us spending hours in there. So rather than forcing us to sit through stuff we don't want to sit through, it's like, okay, here, take our Bangboo Fall Guys, take our mini games. You guys can grind away, okay? Go for it. Go crazy.
Yeah. I hope they continue to add more game modes and more arcade games. And then also, I mentioned before, but I hope in the new area, they have sorry, I had to plug my camera in. That shit was gonna die. I hope that they have something else that's not just another arcade. I hope they have a little board game thing, like a card game area or something in the new place.
You've been chilling out for a board game parlor.
I know. I think that'd be fun. Before I forget, because I completely forgot, this is a huge topic that we absolutely should talk about during this podcast. The trip marketing for 2.0, the characters.
Oh,
hello, Panda Man.
I'm so excited for him.
He's so cool looking.
You,
dude.
Initial thoughts.
I'm surprised they put Yishuan. They look great.
Yeah.
They look great. But I am surprised they put Yishuan the first banner. I thought they were gonna save her for later, kind of like Miyabi, but it seems like we're coming straight out the gate with the big ones. So
yeah, if she was a Void Hunter, then I think they would not have put her at 2.0 because they would have built up like they did with Miyabi, which they definitely will with the next Void Hunter, like the actual Void Hunter. She's her own rank, whatever it may be called. She had her own special logo. So whether it's Mystic or Grand Shifu, whatever, we'll see what it is when we actually get in game. But yeah, the fact that they're adding in, I think it's cool that they're not afraid to add in a new element. Because new element and class actually. She's a new element and a class. Yes. Which you guys know I don't look at leaks. I have no idea how that stuff works, what it actually is. But the fact that they are introducing an entire new thing where they probably have to really go in and add to game systems to have other skills and stuff interact with the new thing is a lot of work, which they already had a lot of work to do in 2.0. So I'm impressed that they didn't wait to do it later. Right. I will say though, I am incredibly surprised that Zhufufu is an S rank.
Same.
I really thought she was gonna be an A rank, but after seeing the little I love her voice. She's really
cute.
And seeing the little character quotes, interactions. Did you see those?
I don't think I saw the actual quotes themselves.
I am going to pull up Yishuan's quote for Zhufufu because it's so adorable. And I cannot wait to see them interact on screen.
It's like she's scared of Zhufufu, no, or something like that.
No. Well, she was joking about it, but it was she's playing. Here it is. Yishuan said, "Do I always listen to what she says? Maybe. I mean, who dares to disobey the super scary tiger?" Which is really cute.
That's really that's so fond.
I know. So I'm really excited to see their interactions because I know it's going to be a mother-daughter situation.
And then we throw in Pan. It's probably going to be the funny uncle, or it's going to be such a funny little goofy family dynamic between them.
Exactly. Yeah, because with
I'm
Pan,
excited.
Actually, I have another quote here. Was it for Pan or was it on Zhufufu's? Let me see. You guys can keep talking while I find this.
No, because my point was going to be kind of following everything in terms of meta stuff. So,
sorry. Before while you search that though, oh my god, can I go pee really quick?
Yes, you can go pee. Do you have your headphones on where you can still hear me?
I can still hear. So don't worry. Go.
Okay, I found it. So I'm gonna say it. It was on Pan's thing. It was Yishuan was saying that it took Zhufufu an hour to convince Pan that it was just water dripping from the chinging bird's beak while it was dozing off, and not like whatever he thought it was. So it's funny that Juvaru had to spend an hour to convince this man of something.
He's like, huh?
I know.
What?
I know. I'm really interested in seeing how they because with season 2 in the dev talk, they mentioned that they really want to focus on character, like deeper character interactions and connections,
Yeah.
and not forgetting the old characters. They like specifically said they don't want to leave the old characters from season 1 in the past. They'll find ways to bring them in.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be super interesting. How they'll do that? Probably just super simple stuff like Jane has a mission, right, in the YFA Peninsula. Balabog could have like a construction project that's in the YFA Peninsula. Just a bunch of easy ways to bring them back. But we've already talked about how like that's one of my favorite things about Zenless is the character interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're like focusing on that in season 2 makes me really excited, but also a little scared because they did say in season 1 storytelling was very lighthearted. Very weird to say. Because they said that it won't be so lighthearted in season 2. Which, if you're telling me we're focusing on character connections and it's not going to be as lighthearted, what are we talking about here? Like, what's going to be happening?
Yeah, I remember it was either a tweet or something, or it was either you mentioned it in a previous pod that like, oh yeah, lighthearted, but we had human trafficking, we had suicides, we like a bunch
insurance
of stuff.
fraud, suicide. Yeah, the organ trafficking. What else did they have? A lot. Oh, they had a lot of stuff. Like kids being lost in the hollows. There's side missions on that.
They had kids having to
No,
kill
but
each
I
other
think
and
that
death
all
by the
relates
family.
to Ether and like how.
Age yelled something, but I didn't hear what it was.
They have kids trying
What
to
was
kill
it?
each other battle royale style to survive in a family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like in terms of that, right, from my perspective of like, oh, how
Right,
could
thank
it get
you.
worse than this? Is like they're gonna dive a little bit deeper into like how much either can actually corrupt like a human or like a human body or like just like manipulate reality. And I think that's gonna in some ways not only just like mess us up like physically, like oh people get damaged, but like also psychologically. I think that's a realm that we have yet to like really go crazy with.
Yeah, we've kind of dipped our toe in it,
in my
but
opinion.
they could take it really far with like the kind of mentalities that might arise from the stuff going down.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think they might actually show us a little bit of the actual devastation of the fall
Yeah.
of the old capital, because they said that we're going into like why the HDD was built. So if they do go into it, especially because 2.0 should also be the patch where we get Lost Void. If we don't, I understand because it's like there's a lot going on. But Lost Void is where we're gonna go like we're learning currently about the Dark Wall, and that's where we're gonna start learning about the previous Void Hunters. So if we start learning about what happened during the previous Void Hunters era, and that's not even the fall of Eridu, that's the founding of Eridu. So there was a lot of shit going on there. So if they start like explaining stories that like they saw, or actually showing us things that happened during then, there's going to be probably a lot of death. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, Age, did you want to kind of round out your point because you were using the restroom?
Oh.
I don't know if you had anything else to kind of
Oh
speak
no,
upon,
I was just listening, and yeah, I'm excited for the character interactions as well. I think it adds a lot to the world building and immersion. Personally, when the characters are interacting, it feels more like they're people that exist in a world rather than just characters to pull from different factions, right? So I'm excited for that. Also scared for what they mean by, it's going to become very dark. It's going to become a lot darker. Like, what do you mean? Like, I thought it was already starting to get pretty dark. So, like, are we talking about, like, death, destruction, like, mental illness? what's going on? I mean, we're all a little bit mentally ill if we're playing gacha games, but the characters too, right? And I'm just curious. I'm just really curious what direction they want to take the story in and the game itself. So looking forward to it.
That they're being very upfront about like company corruption and how overpowering companies can be, and all the secret stuff that they got going on behind the scenes. So I know that's going to continue playing, since we know Tops is going to be like back in well, not back, but still going in season 2.
Mhm.
I think it'll be interesting if they go into a lot more shady shit that Tops is actually doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. I would like to see a lot more like direct involvement from some of the higher players at Tops, right? Because so far they have been kind of vague. Like we have gotten an introduction to Edmund, but we still haven't really interacted with him that much. We just kind of like have seen him existing in our peripherals while doing other stuff. So yeah, like once they bring in all of those big players or start introducing them into the story directly, like it's going to be pretty scary. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why they might actually go in a much darker route, because they want to really start taking it down the path of corruption and just how, I guess, disturbing it could be to see things happening in the game that you also know are happening in real life in a very real way too. So that in itself will be quite disturbing, I think.
Yeah, besides seeing more, but besides seeing more Edmund, we have seen an actual other Tops person, and it was that really hot lady from Miyabi's teaser, or Miyabi's like little thing where she took down the hollow.
Oh yeah,
the lady with the feather earring. She was very hot. She was very attractive. So seeing her,
she was like leading the meeting thingy. And then she was like, "You can't do it." Yeah. And then Miyabi was like, "Okay, bet." That lady.
Please don't do it. I really want to build up the Shiyu pillar.
Okay,
yeah.
Tariffs incoming.
No.
Not the Area 2 tariffs. Where are they even getting it?
Salon tariffs. No.
Our Denny's are already in a dire situation.
I know, true. I hope they... well, actually, I feel like I haven't really had any Denny issues recently.
I think it's fine. Like, I think when we were trying to build all the characters... Josh, I mean, Josh is more into the building and meta, but...
Actually cry.
I'm a builder.
I did run out of Denny's recently, so I do run into it sometimes, but it's a lot less bad than when the game first started, because there was so many more characters to pull for. Because now it's just like every patch, you just like you build the new characters, and then it's a bit more chill. But I mean, Josh will definitely experience this a bit more than us, considering he does the building.
Yeah, I mean, was it last podcast did we talk about like the anniversary and our anniversary expectations just a little bit?
I think we did. I think so.
Yeah.
Smidge?
Yeah. And, I don't want to go into that conversation because I feel like we have other stuff still here that we want to address. But in terms of anniversary, I'm like, sure, the polls are great, yada, yada. I don't care about drama. Give me some extra resources, because like if you want us to continue to play the game, like we got to build and use these characters, right? And that's something that's super underrated. I had a conversation with my chat about this. I'm like genuinely, if you're trying to promote these characters, sure, grabbing the characters is one thing, but like if we can't use them in the level of content that we're at, like, if we don't have the proper drive to see, if we don't have the W engine like at level 60, that takes at least 4 million Denny's to get the character to at least level 50 out of 60, weapon 50 out of 60, core at least D or E, everything else, like it adds up a lot. So I'm really hoping that aside from like 2.0 content, of course, we're going to get hopefully, a larger region, more events, more quests to do, because, I think that's also why people are running that as well, because we are done with like the core, region of sorts, as far as Sixth Street and Luminous City, and we are running out of actual just mainstay permanent quests to do. This new 2.0 region should have more stuff, but
Yeah.
it would be nice as well as if we just got a few extra million Denny's thrown at us our way.
Yeah, I mean they've done it
Yeah.
before. They did it with Harmasa. They gave us like all the materials to get him up to level 50. So they could do that again.
And they probably
yeah,
want to
that would
get
be
more new
cool.
players too for the anniversary. Usually those are like the big patches for them to recruit. So if new players are coming to the game, they're going to need lots of rewards to start building their characters. Because yeah, it's like still bad now, like as a player, but when we first started, it was so bad building characters because there's so many characters to build when you first start, right?
Right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like the Denny thing is a problem, or could still be a problem. I actually don't feel like the drive disc thing is as bad as it is in other games.
Because we have
Fair,
we have the music
yeah.
shop.
They give us not only do we have the music shop, but they don't like gatekeep the tuning calipers. They give us one in the end game like shop that resets. They give us one like almost every event completion. We get one. We get one in the battle pass, right? We're like, don't you like only get it in the battle pass in Star Rail? Like the comparison to the tuning caliber?
No, you get them from
when you
some
don't use
events
the main
as
tab?
well.
MOC.
Do
You
you?
can get MOC and
Yeah, and some
Okay,
events.
okay.
Yeah. But I get your
back,
point.
so-
No,
Yeah.
Genshin was bad. No, Genshin just started to add that stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
But no. To your point, yeah. Like Zenless Zone Zero is from the previous titles has start the gate out with all that stuff. So you are right.
Yeah,
And
because
we have the
endless.
Victoria housekeeping coupons,
Those, yeah.
which lets you like auto clear the thing for drive discs.
Yeah, because the drive discs in general in Zenless are a lot more flexible compared to Genshin and Star Rail as well. Because those, it's like you need the 4-piece and then you need the 2-piece. But in Zenless, you can mix and match amongst the 6 pieces. So then if you get like a really good piece for like the two set, you can then just fill out the rest with the other set, right? Rather than being forced to lock into like these 4 pieces have to be this set and then these 2 pieces have to be this set with these like specific stats. So that also helps quite a bit with, I think, building characters, because then the mix and match, flexibility, you can throw a hodgepodge a bit more. But yeah, on the side quest note though, I think it'd be really nice if in 2.0, because I still have a huge backlog of side quests to do. So, but I have heard a lot of other people's opinions about how they wish that it would be nice if they could add more side quests in, like actual, like with the NPCs where you get to like spend some time doing these side stories. Like they had a lot of those on launch, but then as far as I'm aware, please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they've really added new side quests to the game really since the beginning. Like apart from maybe like 1 or 2 here and there. So I think
They did.
Have
They
they?
have. They've added like one. Okay, so one point, or the outer ring had a good bit.
okay.
By a good bit, I mean like it had like 3 or 4, I think.
Okay.
I think 1.3 added like 1. 1.4 added like 2. But the ones that they do add are not nearly as in depth. Except that one, chat. Oh my god, I love Venus. I love Venus so much. She's my favorite. I love that quest. That quest was really good. It was actually like a long one, and it brought my goat Kami North back into play. We better see Kami North in the Wi-Fi Peninsula, or I'm gonna be sad.
But yeah, lots of
But
side quests.
to be fair, on the fact that there weren't that many side quests, Zenless does have a very large amount of events, like a very huge surplus of events, which I think is probably why there's not as many side missions. But I do know that there's a lot of people that are feeling like fatigue with events, so maybe they'll do more side events or side missions.
Like making it more stuff permanent
like, less
would help with like the FOMO and feeling like you need to constantly be completing all of the events because it's going to go away. Because they did mention that in the dev stream that they're going to try to lower the fatigue. I wonder if one of the ways they're going to lower the fatigue is just to make the events last longer. So rather than have them like sporadically like throughout the patch, the event only lasts for like 2 weeks and then it's gone, and then the next event comes kind of comes kind of thing. Maybe they'll have them last longer, so then it's like they'll overlap, and then sure you can just have more time to complete them as a whole. I think that could definitely help and be one of the ways to lower the fatigue a bit.
Yeah, I think they'll probably
100%.
make it a little bit more permanent. And then also they mentioned the fact that, which I thought it was interesting that they did it this way when they originally, in interviews before the game came out, said that they did not want Zenless to feel like a game that you had to play every day or you're going to miss something, which is like exactly how it is now. And so they were talking about, along with the fact that they want to lessen the fatigue, they directly mentioned in the CN version, like that the events unlocking daily feels like dog shit. So they're like, they may make it where the entire event when it goes live is just straight up open. That way, during the entire duration of the event, you can complete it in any way that you want. Like however long you want to play, longer one day, less one day. You don't have to log on every single day to actually do the event, which that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, because the dailies themselves don't take that long. Like, Zenless is like one of the
they take 5
fastest
seconds.
dailies, literally 5 seconds. If you want to spend your energy, then maybe like an extra 2 minutes. But as a whole, yeah, if they just figure out the event situation, I think that would make it feel a lot better for a lot of people. Because then it's not a chore anymore, right? It doesn't feel as much like a chore. Then you can just enjoy the game at your own pace when you have time during the patch. So
Exactly.
And did you guys have any more points that you guys wanted to touch up on?
I was
regarding that?
about to say, did we have anything, like, any other main topics, or did we want to talk to chat?
Josh, did you want to talk about the
real
meta a
quick,
bit?
Yeah, because just to touch upon it as a prelude, hopefully to the next podcast. By the time we host the next podcast, hopefully we should have a lot more information on the characters. My impressions of the typings and the agents classes of the characters, I thought was gonna be a little bit more creative. For those who've been following the meta, and you know, two of you have also seen the drip marketing. We see Yishen as a new type of agent class and a new subtype of elements. I assume it, just like how Miyabi's Frost looks like the ice, it kind of looks diamondy, so we could see a subclass ether, but I'll let future podcast Josh and us discuss about that when the time comes. But the characters I were disappointed with were Panyi Hu and Jufufu being physical defense and fire stun.
Third fire stunner.
The third fire stunner, and then our second physical defense when the physical class is really looking for some assistance, legit in the support category. So I was really looking forward to a physical support. I was, and if so happens that, Jufufu was fire, I was thinking fire support.
Oh,
we don't have a
I thought it was gonna
premium
be
fire support.
Attack. I thought she was
And
going to be an
fire
A
attack
rank
would have been
fire
great too.
attack.
yeah, I thought
Because
it was
I didn't think
attack
she
as
was going to be
well.
an S rank. I do think it's crazy that she's another S rank fire stunner. But I mentioned this in the podcast with Kete, but I don't think they really. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they're doing like an overarching what's missing. I feel like they're literally trying to make like every faction have like their own thing. Which not saying that's the right way to go. We do need some do we even have a physical support?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so great example. You're right, great example. It does need some help. Having an actual physical support would be nice. Where's that? How are we a year? I just realized that. How are we a year in and don't have a single physical support? That's crazy.
Yeah. And to your point though, they don't need to cover that now. But hopefully down in 2.3, 4, 5, 6, we kind of round out the cast so that we can actually fill in the type chart here, right? Class, elements, and then from there we can get a larger scale of okay, this is what Zenless Zone Zero is, and then from there, in terms of a meta perspective, we can be okay, these are the more profitable units in terms of your conversion of your investment to production, right? And so on and so forth. But again, there's a lot more that needs to be discovered with these units. And to Az's point again, I think that because they're like, let's say a Jufufu, third fire stun, I don't expect Jufufu to be a catch-all, kind of like how Lighter is with fire and ice, just granting a fire and ice bonus outright. I'm expecting her to be a little bit more niche, but perform better in said niche. So see. I'll let the future Josh and future podcasts us talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Zenpai says, I want to physically support Yanagi. Does that count? Hey. Can fill out the roster.
Yeah, did anyone else have any like main topics, or did we want to ask chat if they have anything they want to talk about?
Do we want to circle back to like some stuff in terms of catch up? Because I do want to also circle back and congratulate Age for hitting partner on Twitch.
Let's go, my goat, partner.
Thank you.
Confetti, just and post. Let's.
You have the little check mark.
I do. I feel so official now. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it still is really cool, but I'm saying in past tense.
It was cool. It
was cool for one day, but I'm over it now.
That was so last week.
It's like winning your 50-50. You won, and then you're like, okay, now what's up? Like,
yeah.
But no, like speak to your journey a little bit with getting partner, because it's quite difficult to get partner, I think.
Yes, and while you do that, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been streaming for a very long time, and then I didn't start like actually doing content, like posting videos and stuff, which is what you really need to grow until around, I think, a year and a half ago now. So it's just been really cool. It's been a really cool journey. And because I've been trying to hit partner for a while, actually, because I just wanted the check mark. I just wanted to have it. And then, if after I get the check mark, I fucking fall off the face of the earth, then unlucky. But yeah. No, because this is my second time applying. The first time, I think I applied sometime in 2024. I don't remember. But I hit the requirements, technically. Technically, I hit the requirements, but they still rejected me. So I was like, damn it, I expected them to do it again this time. But no, I've just been really, really grateful to everyone who's been watching me, because I honestly feel like I've just been doing the same thing since I started streaming, which is I play the game and I act like the court jester for chat to laugh at. So it's very bizarre to know that there's so many of you guys who are watching this and who just like watch me in general. And also, I am very, very grateful and owe a lot to, Josh and Az and a lot of other content creators who have, reached out to me to help me be more social, because I've been a big loner for a very long time. Like Josh, you're actually one of the first people who reached out to me to invite me to a collab, like the very first, the quiz tournament that we had way back when.
Oh yeah, that was primarily initially it was for Genshin.
Yeah.
But we extended it to variety. Gotcha. But yeah, the first time I got that message from you, I was honestly so shocked, because I was like, really? You want me to be on your event? I'm so honored. I mean, I still am honored, don't get me wrong. But it meant a lot to me, because up until then, I was just, I'm just kind of being a loner by myself, and it really has inspired me quite a bit. I've told you this already to both of you, Josh and Az, but watching both of you guys and the content that you do, and especially how you guys always work so hard to create these events and content that basically uplifts other creators as well and brings the community together, it
really inspires me to want to do better as a content creator, you know, branch out from just doing reactions, just gooning, and actually do, you know, like make fun videos, and also hopefully in the future be able to, you know, organize some community stuff to really bring everyone together as well. So I'm just really glad to be here. Okay.
You're so wholesome.
I'm sorry. I'm really when I start expressing my feelings, I get really go down. I just keep going down my cordy route. But yeah, no, I really do look up to you guys a lot, and I am just really glad to be here all the time and to do this podcast with you guys, and to just be able to talk to you guys and have you guys as my friends, and to the chat for also being so welcoming to me in general as well. It has really meaned a lot. So big heart. Big heart.
The goat. Yeah, no, your content is amazing. So I thank you. I don't know why you look up to me, but thank you. But I do look up to your content. I am always very impressed at how you are able to keep up with so many games. Like I literally only play Zenless. Like I locked in and only did Zenless for a while, and left Honkai Star. I have no idea how you do so many games so consistently. And it's always very impressive. Like I have your notice on, and so every time you post a video, I'm like, how is she getting these out so fast? Like what the hell is going on?
You see my sus ass title.
Yeah, I'm like, yes. Very good. So yeah, no, I definitely look up to your content as well. So keep it up. Keep up the great work. Very deserved. Partner goat.
My heart, bro. I will not cry for the clip. Chat. You won't get me. You won't get me.
Chat. Our next goal, we need to get as partner. Like legit as. You have numbers in total that could get you partner.
Yeah.
So we just gotta get if you guys are watching on the YouTube side, you better open up a Twitch tab. Come on now.
Open up the Twitch tab. We got a farm.
I will say, in defense, I did not multi-stream for a long time. Like I did kind of neglect Twitch for a long. I just figured out how to properly raid. So like I am raiding people now. So that's cool. But yeah, the Twitch, my YouTube side is definitely where like 90% of my viewership comes from. And I'm always glad. I'm so sorry, YouTube, that you guys don't get thrown into the chat whenever we merge on streams like this.
I love you, YouTube.
In fact, I think right now my thing is bugged out and YouTube chat isn't even showing.
Oh no!
So, sorry about that. But it happens on my thing. So yeah, hopefully they'll find a way. Can Twitch and YouTube just like kiss? What are they doing? Like why can we get like enemies to lovers arc? Like what's happening here? Can we just merge and like all be happy together? I don't know.
Yeah, everyone go follow. Follow Az on Twitch.
That's right.
You gotta go follow Az on Twitch. Those numbers up.
Thank you.
And
also,
then
I am getting
Az gets partnered this year, we can all go to TwitchCon as partners.
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that. True. Yeah. TwitchCon would be pretty cool.
Yep.
Also, not to thank you, first of all, for saying the Twitch thing. I'm going to tell chat because I thought it was funny on Twitter. If you guys didn't see, I did make a bet today on Twitter that if I get to 20K subs on YouTube by the end of the year, I'll cosplay Trigger.
Oh yeah, I saw you talking about how no one cosplays Trigger. Okay,
Yeah,
you're doing the Lord's work.
I was like, okay, yeah. We get to 20K, I'll cosplay Trigger.
To be fair, like Trigger's got a lot of props.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does.
And it's like the techwear type of props too.
I just saw Monolith costumes in chat, and if you guys don't know Monolith, he was I think he was in my chat. Like he came in like a couple minutes ago. But if you guys don't know Monolith, they are the ones who did one of the craziest Sam cosplays amongst the ones that he's noticed.
Like actually the goat.
Yeah. If you guys have seen the Sam cosplayer around, that's Monolith.
Whoa, because I saw that video. I saw the Sam cosplay video. That was Monolith?
Yeah,
that's
not Lycaon.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
He is
insane.
literally legit the goat. So you could
Wow.
probably ask him to help you out with the cosplay, because
Yeah, some ideas on how to do it because
Mm.
I don't know how to cosplay. I post a whole list. I have a whole list of cosplays that I'm doing because
Yeah.
I'm doing Seth just because I want to. Trigger's the new bet. Ting Yun and Fugue, which is like I did a poll. I said, "Do you want me to do Ting Yun's costume or Fugue's costume?" That one is still up. That one's still not confirmed yet. The bet was if the cat is Elio in HSR, then I have to cosplay Fugue. So that's there. And then chat said that that Ray is a female me, like Ray and Zenless. So I'm probably gonna also cosplay Ray at some point.
yeah, Ray would be sick.
That's
Yeah.
that's the list. Yeah,
Yeah, I think cosplay sounds like it'd be so much fun. I also want to as well.
I agree. I'm just scared about the wigs. I don't know how to do wigs. How do I
Oh,
style
I
a
hate
wig,
wigs. Oh, I hate wigs.
I'm just
Oh,
like, I have to gather all of my hair and like stick it inside.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I need a tutorial. How to wig.
Teach us, chat.
you got to go bald first.
Oh, true.
That's why I
Shave-
love it.
shave
You
it
gotta
all
go
off.
first,
Bald.
and
Yeah, well, I'm already balding, so it'll be easy.
then- oh no. Oh, no.
It's okay. That's what the wigs are
What do you think I have
for.
the video on right now? Exactly, that's what the wigs are for. I need to learn fast.
Yeah. Jane Doe cosplay for Josh? No, thank you. Like,
Why not?
who would I cosplay though? Who would be like?
I mean, you've already cosplayed Eos,
Yeah, you did already cosplay, yes.
and we know you have the Ayato in the
that's
background.
just a jacket. That's just a jacket. I'm like, if I would like really who?
Please do Bernice.
Bernice!
Please. Please, somebody. Make it happen.
If I'm Bernice, then H has to be light or something. Like,
Oh my god. dude.
Amazing.
Okay. Let's do it,
I'll
Josh.
do Caesar. I'll do Caesar. Or someone needs to be Big Daddy. We need to get an entire.
Oh.
Big
The Sons of
Daddy.
Caledon does have the most members. We need to get a bunch of creators together. Cosplay the Sons of Caledon.
That would be
Figure it out,
lit.
we'll figure it out.
Mocktails Mixers
Good ideas,
Ice.
chat.
The cosplays are real nice.
Yeah, so you're already cooking.
we will put it on the list.
Yeah. Okay. What else we gotta talk about? I don't know if you guys are interested in the Genshin topic at all.
Oh,
Because I did bring it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
did you
curious.
guys see the Nod Cry special program dev talk?
not yet.
I didn't watch it, but I saw Arnold's Murder Birds
Yeah.
take on it, and it was really interesting to see that this seems to be very targeted towards like the lore people, which is interesting. I mean, obviously, I'm like that's hype.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I'd only seen positive things about it, but you said earlier that wasn't what people wanted to see.
Wait, can I have a TLDR?
What happened?
Yeah. So TLDR, for those of you who are, outside of Genshin Impact, who left Genshin Impact, who saw some of the news about like some of the new stuff either on Twitter or, wherever they've been posting for this new trailer for Genshin. Initially, Genshin was thought to be, we go from region to region, we're at Fontaine, we're in that land now. Hey, guess what? It's supposed to be Snezhnaya next. But we're taking a pit stop at a sub-regional location of Snezhnaya called Nod Cry. And in particular, they're going to be focusing on a storyline that has been spanning the entirety of Genshin, unbeknownst to a lot of people, the three Moon Sisters, who are supposed to be the real gods. And this is not a spoiler, this has already kind of been proven stuff, basically. Throughout, like, lore, if you actually read it, They're proven. They're supposed to be the real gods amongst the fake archons. Or the
Oh.
archons are fake
Interesting.
gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that were planted by Celestia. So
Oh.
the whole rigmarole is that like everyone is confuzzled about Not Cry and the purpose of Not Cry, because why aren't we just beelining it to Snezhnaya? All right, people want to see Columbina. People want to unalive Dotori in Minecraft. All right, we want to see the Saritsa, right? Yet the devs were mentioning, oh, we know that the storylines seem a little confusing. Genshin seems a little big. There's so many other plot lines and little unattached strings that we introduced throughout our 4 or 5 year tenure. And we're going to answer those in Not Cry. And to a lot of people's, you know, in terms of the true Genshin enjoyers,
Mhm.
they ate that shit up. And it is exciting. It is exciting. To be fair, right? The Three Moon Sisters is a greater overarching storyline that does pay homage and a nod to the overarching lore of Genshin, which is what we want to see.
Mhm.
But in the way that they're executing it, they're dedicating a whole year.
A
to this.
year. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's like more than
I mean,
one of the
versus-
previous
honest.
regions.
Versus like I was expecting a part 1 part 2 patch, so like maybe 2
Something,
patches
yeah, something like
in
the
total to
chasm,
encompass
right?
it. Essentially.
Oh.
So-
I'm gonna be honest. I think that's sick. I think that's needed. I mean,
No,
to be fair, because I think this probably happened. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but Genshin was originally supposed to be a 5-year game, and then they changed, they pivoted because of how popular it was, and switched it to be a 10-year game. And they probably like had to hard focus on how the hell are they going to extend this by another 5 years. So I feel like this is needed. I mean, if they're going over the, I loved Genshin in 1.0.
Me too.
Like
Uh-huh.
1.0
I like the
all the
earlier
way
lore.
up until we got to Inazuma. Like I loved Genshin a lot.
Yep.
And especially like the star event in 1.1, or was it 1.1 with Fischl? Where like they actually
Yes.
had like
yeah.
Okay,
One point
with the
yeah.
false sky. That shit was dope. I was like, oh
Mm.
my god, this is cool. And then we had okay, this is gonna sound bad. I was gonna say we had like a nothing burger for like 4 years. I did not enjoy like really anything else. So that sounds like something that I'm actually like interested in. I'm not saying I'm gonna return to Genshin, but that sounds like that they needed that. I mean, if they knew that they didn't properly tie the threads together, and they want to take the time to actually weave together all the threads, I'd rather them do it in like a year thing where they do it correctly, as opposed to like a 2-part thing. But I know if you want to get to Snezhnaya, but if it's in Snezhnaya, then they can properly drip and like explore Snezhnaya lore still while doing this. No,
And there you go.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the deeper conversation about it, right? Because understandably, I am also in the camp of like, oh, like I'm an also average Genshin enjoyer at this point. I haven't really, because we've been Zenless Zone Zero gaming, right? I've been enjoying Genshin casually for the past, I would say, pretty much the entire year, ever since we started Beta 2 all the way back a year and a half ago, right? I've been Zenless Zone Zero pretty much 100%. So even at the end of Fontaine going into Natland, I was kind of already checked out. I was halfway through the door. So, you know, kind of seeing from the outside somewhat about the developments with Natland, people are, you know, kind of piggybacking off of that, being like, okay, Natland was rushed, so you're going to slow down and tell this overarching storyline. I guess that's a pretty good thing. But then the other side of that is that, so you're going to make a wrong, or sorry, you're going to try to correct a wrong with a wrong. Because is this what the general player base really wants to see out of Genshin? Because
At this point in
to
time.
kind of dive deeper into the lore, right? And to spend time on a potential, you know, the three Moon Sisters, where that could just be a greater plot line at the end of Snezhnaya if they were to fix it up in such a way, is what a lot of the players thought, because we thought we get to the end of Snezhnaya and then the Conry arc is where or not Conry arc, but like
the everything coming
year
into a
of
head.
Conria, where everything comes to a head, right? And then we figure out about the Moon Sisters, we figure about the fake sky and yada yada yada. But yeah, to the lore aspect, as I feel a little bit bad because the lore and what they've touched on is like, hey, let's go back to Enconomia and look at murals. Let's go back to Sumeru and look at murals. Hey, do you remember when we introduced that underwater region in Fontaine that had some really cool lore? Don't forget, it had a mural. And like, we're going to go and, presumably touch up on these areas within each of the returning regions that we go to, and then kind of circle back as Nod Cries our central point. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So they like directly said that you'll basically be using that as like a hub and you're just revisiting all the areas?
kind of, but then there's an overarching lore about the peoples of Nod Cry, but we're going to learn more about it through visiting older regions, potentially.
I mean, as long as Nod Cry... Okay, this is coming from a perspective of somebody who has not played Genshin in a very long time.
Yeah.
But to me, as long as the Nod Cry area is unique and it's not just a small little hub and actually has its own thing, and you still have like small little, diversions where you you divert your path to the other regions, I still think that's interesting. Like, I think that's cool. The fact that they're trying to tie in the interesting and big lore questions, to me, sounds sick. So you said that that's not what people want. I'm curious, isn't Genshin supposed to be the story game? Why do they not want the story? Or like, I understand they want to get this Snezhnaya, but if think about it, if Natlin was rushed and the most hyped place is Snezhnaya, why would you not want the extra time to have Snezhnaya be written correctly?
I
Because
feel like
we were expecting it to already be written right. If that makes sense.
Okay, that's
that's
fair.
From the perspective, yeah. So in Natlan, bro, the story has been, there's some good points, right? But I think a lot of the sentiment around Genshin's Natlan story is that there's just so much missing, and it's so surface level from what we thought, even from a character development perspective, even from a lore perspective. Oh yeah, we got like one or two like really, really cool lore drops, but it was behind us like tumbling and falling to get there.
Oh, yeah.
In a sense, right? And then the potholes, right, that we're tripping over essentially are like the missing parts of a story, essentially, if I want to complete the analogy. But Genshin right now is in a place where not a lot of people trust it, I think. So people are entitled. I wouldn't say entitled in the sense that like we are demanding it, but because the story has been going down this descending slope, the trust is being lost.
Yeah, I have a point after this.
But yeah,
regarding
go ahead.
Because my overall Genshin, I guess, for context, like I was a day one Genshin player. I played consistently every single day up until the end of Inazuma. I found Inazuma really frustrating. Personally, I felt like it was a really big disappointment. I am a bit of an Inazuma hater, so I will leave that at that. So I basically quit for an entire year while Sumeru was being released, right? And then once I came back, I actually quite enjoyed Sumeru. I really liked the Sumeru story. I thought they did a pretty good job at recovering from some of the pacing issues they had in Inazuma, and also some of the story writing too. And then Fontaine was like fantastic for me. I loved Fontaine. So then for me, like the direction that Genshin was heading towards from those first 5 regions felt like it was going to be like a pretty like serious story, a very kind of intense. We're building up the stakes. We're building up like the Celestia kind of, and them basically having this control over, the world, and how they have basically oppressed all of these different figures, these different powers from the past. And then next region we're going to, they teased at the end was, I know this is, you've probably heard this a lot as a Genshin player, and it's a very, like, I have the very regular complaint of, it seemed like we were going to go to the next region, which was a war-torn region with dragons. That was the wording they used to describe it. And then, you know, the aesthetic, the kind of like, you know, overall direction Natlan took for me was just so completely opposite from what I expected the story to head towards. So then Natlan as a whole has just been very uninteresting to me. And I guess, like, in a sense, I personally lost a lot of my trust in the direction of Genshin as a game and for the plot because of the fact that they took Natlan in that direction. I understand. I know that the story itself, it's like, oh, there's death. There are a lot of like dark things happening, but still, like, aesthetically and overall, like the way the story was written, because I have seen the story. Okay. I have like seen what's happened in the story. So I know what happens. It's still really not exactly what I wanted from Natlan as a whole. So then hearing about this Nodcry stuff to me actually sounds quite appealing because it kind of seems like they might be heading back towards the direction of, okay, we kind of like went a little bit crazy in Natlan, and I do think there are a lot of things in Natlan that are basically retconning a lot of stuff that they were building up before as well. I won't get into that too much, but it kind of seems like they are like starting, like maybe taking a step back and being like, okay, let's go back to some of the roots that we have been building. I personally did not really see any of this 3 Moon stuff because I guess I didn't keep up with a lot of the lore in some of the more like recent patches prior to Natlan, but
yeah,
I kind of like the idea of them taking a step back to kind of take a break from, I guess, the direction that they were heading towards by like doing Natlan and everything they did there, and then coming back to some of the overarching themes. A year sounds like a lot. I do think a year is a little bit excessive because a year is also like, for example, how long the Amphoria story is going to be, right? Like the Amphoria story is like this really, really massive arc that they have been building up. I know people have their issues with Amphorias, but I personally think that the story itself has been building up pretty well. And I do think that it will take a year for them to finish it. In terms of like the Nodcry stuff, it's different, right? Because it's not a region. It's not like you're going to like a new region necessarily to explore it in the traditional sense of you're traveling to Inazuma, you're traveling to Natlan, you're traveling amongst the different archons. Obviously, it will depend on how they execute it. And to build on Josh's point, I don't think a lot of players have a lot of trust in Genshin to execute it well currently. I think that it's like an interesting idea, and it's really hard for me to tell kind of, I guess, whether it's the right decision or not, once again, until we've seen them actually play it out, because from what it sounds like, it could very easily be an really epic arc, but it could also very easily be just them kind of doing a lot more filler, right? Them just basically doing a lot of filler and then a lot of exposition for an entire year. And then built on top of the fact that I think Genshin did lose a lot of players from Natlan, you know, it's a very risky move for the game, because I think there were a lot of people like myself who were looking forward to, okay, if Genshin, you know, comes back to like the next big region, such as Snezhnaya, and then they maybe like come back to some of the roots. Like maybe we had a bit of a speed bump in Natlan, you know, maybe they were trying out something new. I personally didn't really think it worked, but I know there's people who still enjoyed it, but I'm willing to give like Genshin a chance again, you know, like in terms of what I want from it as a game, if they start building up on some of the previous things that I liked from Genshin, you know, from the past 4 years or like however long the game has been out prior to Natlan's release, of me enjoying the game. And So, like, I think there's a lot of people who are very casual players of Genshin who might be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here? Why are we spending so much time doing this big lore dump when we're already kind of like, we need the next big thing, right? Like, it's like, whether you liked Natlan or didn't like Natlan, the general sentiment to Genshin as of, you know, the recent times has been very kind of, you have the diehard fans, and then you have like, I think a pretty small portion of casuals, and then you have the people who are like really disgruntled Genshin players. So it's like, I feel like this decision, it kind of upsets everyone, you know? It kind of upsets every group of player that we have left in Genshin. And also, you know, I know people say this a lot, but a lot of the player base of Genshin is quite young, right? Like a lot of people do play Genshin who are on the younger side. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of younger people. I am generalizing, okay? So I'm not saying everyone is like this, but there are a lot of people who just don't like to read. They just don't like to read. They want a very simple story to your face. I mean, that's kind of why Paimon exists, right? That's why Paimon is there to kind of like explain everything for you in Genshin. So will a year-long lore dump really work well for the game as a whole? It's a very brave thing for them to do. I definitely can acknowledge that. It's very brave for them to announce something like this at this time. I really want them to execute it well, because if they do execute it well, honestly, I'll go back to the game. I'll go back to Genshin because I love the lore. That's one of the things that drew me to it to begin with. But, you know, they could also very easily take the ball and just toss it off a building. So
here's the thing. I think it's really interesting that they're doing this, because the people that do skip the story, to me, this shouldn't affect you at all. You're not gonna fucking read anyway, right? Like, you're just gonna skip it. And it's not like the gameplay's changing in the new area, right? Like, it's gonna be the same way it's always been. So if you don't care about the story for Genshin, you have no right to be upset about this, I feel like at all. Because you're not gonna read it. It's not gonna affect you. What I think is interesting in the way that Genshin does its storytelling is, correct me if I'm wrong, it does not have any in-game modes, correct? Like, besides the Abyss, which has no story.
No, it has a lot of new endgame modes now. There's like the book, the book one, right?
Yes,
there's like a few
Amphitheater.
Yeah.
So it's
is
sort
there
of their
lore in
take
that?
on a roguelike. Yes, there is.
Is it continuous lore?
It is tied to the Hexen Circle, so the witches and such. So yes.
When was that added?
That was added
like last year.
It was before.
It was like before Natlan, I think, wasn't it? Or maybe at the beginning of Natlan.
Basically, what I'm trying to get into is Honkai Star Rail had very interesting lore that it set up in 1.0, and that was the eons and the different paths. Yeah. We are not touching on them in the main story. Like, we really haven't touched on them too much. Like, it's super in depth. We mainly get the lore of that from the simulated universe and the divergent universe and the expansions, which we've been getting since launch. But Genshin, on the other hand, while we're still getting all this new lore of all the new worlds in Honkai Star Rail, Genshin still treats every new region like a new world, essentially, right? Because it has its own lore. It still has its, it ties in with other stuff. But the stuff that they had since 1.0, these moons, these dragons, whatever, there was nothing to do. There was nothing to touch on there because they were too focused on having the main story be focused on that current region. They didn't want to keep zapping everywhere. And they didn't have an in-game mode to express that lore, which they have in Honkai Star Rail and they have in Zenless. We have the Lost Void. We have what else? Like the agent missions. And technically Hollow Zero has its own lore too, before we got to the Lost Void. Genshin didn't have that catalyst to really have this other lore. So we have 5 years of backlog that they want to go through to make these connections, that I feel like a year, while it does seem like a long time in retrospect, with it not having been told within the last 5 years, they have a great opportunity to get some solid writing out that's not necessarily just filler. Sure, a lot of the stuff recent, a lot of people feel like a lot of the regions is just straight like babble, right? But if the story is written well for Nod Cry, and it ties in with like a lot of the really interesting lore points that they've wanted to go into since 1.0, but haven't had the catalyst to, because they haven't done it with events. Like, sure, they've had events where you go back to Mondstadt, but that's just an event. Like, it's a party. It's not connected to like the main like lore, right? So I feel like this is a great time for them to have that long period to really give you something to eat. Like, actually have good. And now, to be fair, they still have to write it well. They still have to write it well. And again, obviously, there's going to be people who skip the story, but I just think Genshin shot themselves in the foot with not adding any sort of in-game mode where they can explore that lore. And now they're in the situation where they have to do this. Because if all of that lore that they're going to be telling in Nod Cry needs to be told before you get to Shnezhnaya, before you get to wherever that other place is, Passionizhnaya, Celestia, whatever, if we ever like actually go to Celestia, then they need the time. Like, they need to tell it now because we're running out of time. we're not running out of time. We're like halfway through. It's technically through its life cycle that they want, right? We're 5 years in. But like, if they have another 5 years that they need to connect this lore to, they need to have this dedicated time slot to do so. And I understand Genshin's writing is ass, but I know they've lost a lot of faith. And to be fair, that was just a general thing. A lot of people think that Genshin's writing is good. A lot of people think it's ass. It's your own opinion. But if overall they've lost a lot of the faith from the community, now I think it's weird that it's getting a lot of backlash that people have wanted these topics to be brought up, right? Like, these are the interesting topics. People have been wondering, where are the answers to this? Like, where, right? No? Is it not? Okay, answer me this then. What do Genshin players want to see from the story?
I think they just want more content,
we want to see
honestly.
the harbingers, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see the harbingers, and to your point, this is kind of like this is why it, like, Nod Cry is going to deliver on some of these things, because it's presumed that if you've played through the Sumeru story age, Dottore, Dottore is one of the biggest villains that we have yet to kind of conclude his arc with.
That piece of shit.
He's supposed to show up in Nod Cry. Supposedly, I don't know if it's true or not, or one of the storylines is supposed to include Dottore, so we could actually see Dottore in Not Cry before we actually go to Shnezhnaya itself. So, you know, in particular with the lore, the three Moon Sisters, you take a look at Arnold, you know, Murder Birds, you take a look at you know, the Minsleys, the Brands, they're like, yeah, we finally get them, and then everybody else is like, what the heck are these? What the heck is a three Moon Sister? Although, again, if you've been paying attention to the lore, they've been teasing this stuff for years. It's been in the lore, it's been in books, it's been in quests, it's been in side quests.
It can't be in books. That's the thing. It can't just be in books.
But unfortunately, that's Genshin.
I know. I mean,
there lies the issue.
I feel like that's what I'm saying. They shot themselves in the foot, because they should have had an in-game mode where they can explore these topics, like Simulated Universe or like Lost Void, where we're getting a lot of that other stuff in a well-mannered way, every other patch, whatever, like on a timely basis. But I mean, even Honkai Star Rail, right? Not everything is in the books. I mean, it has like the literal book system that Genshin has, and there is a lot of lore in the book stuff in Honkai Star Rail. But I feel like if it was so important to the lore that they need to dedicate like an entire year to, it should not have just been in the readable books. And I guess what I'm confused about is the core gameplay of Genshin has never really
been the most complex. No, yeah, that was going to be my next point. Is I think a lot of players are upset because, like you said, there's a lot of people who don't care about story, right? There's a lot of players who just skip story. So technically, them adding a story region should mean nothing to them. But then it's like, if you think about it, right? So like, if you're from the perspective of a player who doesn't care about story, and you're going to spend an entire year in a region that is just focused on story, while also they didn't mention anything about new game modes, expanding the combat system, expanding other things to do in the game, then that would definitely upset me, because it's like, okay, now you're going to spend all this time, you know, doing this like part of the game that I do not give a flying fuck about. So what am I supposed to do as a player who doesn't care about story, right? You did not make me any promises about any new game modes or giving me more stuff to do. That is not just reading, right? So then that I think is
ever?
No, but then that's probably it's all the built up frustration, right? But here's the thing. Let me finish.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have also never said, okay, we're going to spend an entire year telling you just story, right? It has been the kind of general understanding that, okay, we are going to go to a new region. The new region will have new things to do, right? I think it's fair to assume that this Nod Cry region is not just going to be lore. They'll probably add in extra stuff too, hopefully. But then the main focus of, them presenting this is like a year full of lore. So then everyone who does not care about lore is like, are you just shafting us? Like, what are you doing? I'm saying this as someone who loves lore. I personally am looking forward to this. But, like for the people on the flip side, right? Because yeah, like logically, it's like I understand, like lore, if they're giving us lore and people don't read anyways, doesn't affect them. But then like, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do as players who might not be as interested in the story? If you look at the other games, right? Other games like Star Rail, like Zenless, issues aside, they still give you lots of game modes. They still give you lots of things to do that are not necessarily just the story, right? Like, does Genshin do that? I feel like one of the biggest issues and one of the biggest frustrations has been that Genshin doesn't give you that as a player. So it's like, players are probably like, okay, so now you're going to hold us off for an entire year, not even give us a new region where I can hope that there is some like new fun content. So then, I think that's like where a lot of the frustration is probably stemming from. And then that's why it's so split, right? You have the people who care about it and the people who don't care about it. The people who care about it are like, finally, this is everything we've wanted. The people who don't care about it at all, you are literally telling us that we are nothing to you. You are telling us that we are just going to spend all of our efforts into something that we do not care whatsoever about. So then it's like no one's united.
No. I totally see that. So I think one big oversight that I had during all my rants there was when I was thinking of gameplay, I was not thinking of exploration. And so chat is right. Like, have they said how big this region is? Because, a lot of people do only play Genshin legitimately as, like, exploration. So how big is this area?
They have not said anything at all. But it is teased that they are working on like a bunch, like they showed panels and stuff like that. They didn't obviously show a whole teaser area, but they showed concept arts and stuff like that. So we can assume that it's maybe even half the size of a regular region. I don't think it's going to be a whole region. If it is a whole region, hey, maybe it could, beget more, exploration and that stuff, which would be good. Right? But assuming that like their idea or the concept is that like, oh, we could be revisiting other, past regions and such to like discover lore and then circle back over here, XYZ, yada, yada, yada. I think it's going to be a little bit more smaller potentially.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to. So yeah, Mr. Global Passive said if it's more focused, it should be big as fuck. No, with a lot of different areas to explore, different stories. But if it's how Josh is saying, where you're supposed to go to the murals of different areas, then
that's only like really one aspect of it. I don't know
right. But if you are going back to the different regions, like if that's like a whole point of this is you're going like looping back through, then people have already explored that. So they're not going to feel like that's like, they're not going to see that as new content, especially if like the stuff that they're looping back to isn't a new area into the new region. And it's just like, oh, go here and recheck this thing. Then I can definitely understand 100% the frustration from the exploration, like group. So yeah, I feel like, has this like the first dev talk that they've had in a long time?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You see, okay.
So yeah, they have their like special programs of like, oh, here's the new region, like those type of dev talks, like but this is like a special dev talk that we haven't really gotten from Genshin in who knows how long.
So sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, but
no.
In my mind, if we are now halfway through the life cycle of Genshin, if they want it to last 10 years and it has now been 5 years and now everyone is like starting to get really frustrated and start leaving because of Natlan, I feel like now Josh is a little low. Okay, I'll turn Josh up. Oh wait, I have to do it from here. I feel like now is a perfect time. Well, I guess this leads in with like it being really long for it taking a year. But if they want people to stay with Genshin, I understand not a lot of people want in-game modes, but they do need new game modes. Like they do need new stuff. They can't just be doing the same thing they've been doing. And the fact that we're actually able to see the dev talk now, I feel like they are realizing that they actually need to listen to the players now. Like if they want to go that other 5 years, then they need to start implementing shit that people have been wanting. Which in this case, this is going to be targeting the lore side, which I guess, yes, that's a huge dub for the lore people, but for everyone else, it may seem like a big L. But if now that that's like tied up, and now they have that extra work on Snezhnaya, then when Snezhnaya finally launches, then that other group is going to have a huge feast of like, now we actually have this whole new area, all this new content that they had extra time to work on, and maybe they could actually add new game modes, like whatever. I think it's overall, I think it's interesting. Now, like, I thought this was just going to be like a big dub all around, but I can understand the points of the frustration for a lot of the players. But I think if the devs are actually trying to talk to the community now and try to get stuff like done,
for sure,
this is the start of something that they need to do. So, like, I understand a lot of people may leave because they don't like they're not interested in this not cry stuff or like the lore or whatever, and they want new areas to explore. Honestly, dude, a year off may help you. Because by the time you come back, not only will you have a lot of stuff to do, but then you'll have the actual Snezhnaya to like go through. And it'll feel like a new game again, probably. But yeah, I mean, I think as long as this is the start of something new, then
it feels so right.
I think it's weird to start yelling at the devs about doing it.
No, I honestly, like I said, I personally am really excited for it. I was just earlier, sorry, I like started yelling a bit. But I was just trying to like maybe like look at it from both sides too. But yeah, like for me, I think that it'd be really cool because like you said, they're probably going back to the old regions if they can expand on the previous regions, the regions that we love so much from before, right? The ones that we haven't visited in so long. I don't know if they're going to make new, like full maps or whatnot, but maybe they could expand like small sections of the map, right? Small sections of the map when you go back to find out new lore things, or maybe they could add underground regions to some of the older areas, right? Since they started doing underground regions in Sumeru, I think that was like the first time they started doing like underground maps.
Like
real underground maps. Right? So I think this is like a really good opportunity for them to be able to implement that into even older regions that they already have put into play. And that would be a nice way for them to incorporate, new maps so then people don't feel like they're just re-exploring the same thing, giving us new lore. And then also obviously the new Nodcry map as well, depending on the size of it. I personally think that it should be, if you're spending a year on Nodcry, I think it should be at the very least the size of a new region. Personally, because you're spending a lot of time in Nodcry. If it's like super tiny and then you're spending most of your time like elsewhere, then it's kind of like it would make it feel a lot more like, okay, what are we doing? Like they're just talking to us rather than giving us more stuff to do. But yeah, like I personally think that this is an amazing change. Because this has gotten me interested in Genshin again. This is what I wanted. I wanted them to return to some of the previous things that they were building up, some of the previous types of stories that they wanted to actually overarching regarding like Celestia and like, the real gods versus Celestia. Who exactly is Celestia and their role in the world? Like, what is Teyvat? Is it real or is it not? They've teased that the sky is fake since like 1.1, and then they like haven't really fully given us an answer for that since then. I don't know if they'll give us the answer in Nodcry. I think they'll give us the answer at the end, but yeah. And then, like you said, there's also a lot of room for them to build up Snezhnaya as well. Like, I personally think one of the good things about Fontaine and Sumeru was I liked the build-up. There were still parts of them that were kind of like a bit pointless, but when the writers take their time to build up the story, I think that it can, you know, I like the build up. Okay. I like the build up. I know a lot of people don't like the build up.
Yeah.
I personally, that I can have a very high tolerance for much longer stories when the content in the story that we are receiving is actually relevant and important. So
Right.
if Nod Cry is overall relevant, someone mentioned that they might be actually showing multiple, you know, Fatui Harbingers in Nod Cry 2. That would be amazing. It gives us a chance to build up the Fatui Harbingers, the remaining ones. There's still so many Fatui, right? There's so many Harbingers left that we haven't really seen. So if they take this time to build up those characters as well, so then when we see them in Snezhnaya doing their thing, that would be, we would have a much deeper understanding of who they are and maybe their role in the story as well. That would be cool. It'd be a nice way to tie in Nod Cry to Snezhnaya while, so, you know, by showing characters that people care about and then leading up to the future region. And then, yeah, I like it. I like the change. Again, it really just depends on how they execute it.
Yeah.
I want to hope. I want to have hope that they will execute it well. I am kind of like, I really don't know. At one point in the past, if you asked me this right after Fontaine, I'd be like, they're going to slap Natlan. Everything past Fontaine is going to be fucking amazing. I'm no longer in that kind of state, but I am always willing. I've been hoping that they can prove to me that they still have that spark, that they still have that like desire to write a really, really good story. And I think another thing, Nod Cry, you know, there might be a lot of people complaining about it now, but when they see the Genshin players who stick with it playing Nod Cry, and if the story is really amazing and really good, I'm sure that'll bring a lot of these players who are disgruntled back too. They'll be like, oh, is it really that good? I might not care that much about the story, but if all these players are really enjoying it, then, you know, maybe I'll give it a chance too, right? The hype might start building up again. So again, execution is everything. People, including myself, you know, faith is kind of, they could do it, they could not. I'll have to see. I've been disappointed too many times personally by Genshin at this point. So it will really, they need to really blow it out of the water for me to be really, really invested in it again. But I think that it's a good direction because, like you said, it means that they are taking a step forwards to trying to actually appeal to the players and their wants. I think up until now, they have just been kind of like washing their hands of everything. They're just doing whatever the hell they want, whatever makes the most money. Screw all of the previous lore. Who cares? You know, cool motorcycle. Sorry, I'm not going to get into that. But I think, they definitely realize that we're just going to keep bleeding out. Sure, they still have one of the biggest player bases. Okay, I still think that is the case, even to this day. But clearly, it's a big enough issue that they feel threatened by that loss of player base, right? They're clearly making this decision for a reason. If they have been greedy company thus far, like greedy or like, you know, whatever direction of the game that Hoyoverse has been taking, whether you think they care or not, if they have been acting a certain way and they suddenly kind of change their tone, that means that there is something that the company is trying to get out of it, right? And what does the company want more than money? And how do you get money? You get the players to play the game. You make the game better. You get more players to come back, to stick with the game. And, you know, so that's what they got to do. So that in itself, for me, is what makes me kind of have more faith in Nod Cry. The fact that at the end of the day, trust Hoyoverse or not, I can trust Hoyoverse to be a company with their best financial interests in mind. So if they feel that Nod Cry is going to be something that has their best financial interests in mind, in the sense that I think that it is them trying to appeal to players once more, then I can trust that as a player, maybe I will get some of the stuff that I have been lacking and wanting thus far. So if there's anything I can trust a company to do, it is to be greedy. And I hope that in this case, the greed is them trying to cut their losses and move the game back on a path where they can start making more money again. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Sorry if I ranted a little bit. I am a very disgruntled
I
Genshin
ranted
player.
too.
I'm a very disgruntled
yeah.
Genshin player because I loved it so much. I loved it so much for so long, and then being so disappointed with it for so long, the frustrations build up. So I am happy to see that it seems like they are trying to shift the direction, and whether that shift in direction is going to pay off or not will depend on how they execute it. So
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
I kind of want to like
speaking-
circle.
Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Sorry, we're going
if
off
yours is
of
about
it.
Genshin, then you keep going. I was gonna introduce a new topic just because we've been talking about Genshin for so long.
No. Just to round it out, because I think at the crux of it, it's market sentiment, majoritively. Like they can introduce whatever they want. It's how we receive it, right? And of course, our reactions are going to be overtly positive or overtly negative. I rarely do see like a neutral with these types of announcements, right? So I think at the end of the day, Genshin players, they want to care.
Yeah.
I think they want to care. So we really want a product that we can get behind and say that for 100%, oh, this is going to be sick. This is going to be hard. Like, this is going to be killer cinema, bro.
Yeah.
But like, if people don't even know what a Moon Sister is, how are we supposed to get excited?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now. But going into 5.6, 7, 8, they've made the promise. They're like, okay, let's actually start fleshing this out. So then when we actually present Not Cry, you're ready for it. Right? So I know a lot of people in chat are like, Josh, like L takes. Like, I'll be honest, these half of these aren't my takes. Half of these are the stuff that I see on Twitter. Half the stuff that I see is market sentiment, is why I'm trying to bring in the overarching conversation.
Yeah, and we need to talk about like all the
clarify
different
that.
sides if we want to, have a discussion about it. So
because you guys know I play Genshin every day, bro. I play Genshin every day. All right, if talk is cheap, I walk the walk. I play Genshin every day, right? So you can't tell me I don't love Genshin, okay? Because I love Genshin. I build almost all my characters. I've done like at least 80 to 85% of exploration in every area. Okay, I'm really behind Genshin. I want it to succeed, but again, that's where we're at with the conversation of Not Cry. But to pivot a little bit, if there's some lasting comments or topics we want.
It's going to be a short topic. I just think it'd be interesting to talk about since we're on the podcast right now and it was recent news. I was going to say, speaking of the company wanting to make money, there's a new Honkai game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't hear about it.
They haven't done like an announcement, but all of the channels have been found. Like they have all of the trademarks been founded. All the accounts are like basically ready to go live. What is it called? It's Honkai like something.
I don't remember.
It's like something anima. No, it's not leaks. It's not leaks.
It's not leaks.
It's Honkai. Wait, hold on. Let me find it.
Honkai Nexus Anima?
Yeah, Nexus Anima. Yeah. So this is supposed to. Okay. They announced a ton of games, like at a Hoyo Expo or whatever it was. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the like Pokemon Honkai game.
Yes.
Where you like catch monsters and like raise them. But it has the Honkai name on it. So yeah, we have a new game coming. You ready to cover another game, Age?
I mean, honestly, hey, are there characters for me to goon to? Because I won't goon to Pokemon. I'll be sorry.
I don't know. You don't have to goon to the monsters. You don't have to goon to the monsters.
People goon to Pokemon. It's
yeah,
okay.
I just personally don't. I just personally, me personally.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there were two characters that have been shown on the little thing. If this is that game, I don't think we really have any confirmation, but there was a redhead little cutie that was shown on the page, like little art for it. But I mean, the literal one screenshot we have, if it is that game, I mean, the world kind of looks cool. So I mean, it'll be interesting, but it has the Honkai name attached to it, so
Interesting.
We'll see where they go, but announcement soon, I guess. Soonish, TM.
I think I know when the announcement's gonna come.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh,
When?
you have an educated
'Cause-
guess?
Yeah, I mean,
Game Awards.
if you guys, well, technically the project was announced quite early, but Zenless Zone Zero was actually teased at Anime Expo.
Oh,
Wait,
In,
what?
I
When?
believe 2021. I believe there's inklings of Zenless Zone Zero when they announced Honkai Star Rail and the beta at Anime Expo.
oh.
I am interested in this.
Yes.
Do you remember what it was?
Because I was literally there at the booths, and there was I remember seeing some of like the logo stuff, I believe, for Zenless Zone Zero, but there wasn't an announcement that they were going to announce Zenless Zone Zero at the Anime Expo. But there was some stuff while they were also hosting the Honkai Star Rail beta, because again, Honkai Star Rail came out a year before Zenless, and they were hosting already some of the play tests for Honkai Star Rail at the booth. So
Oh.
I'm thinking we could see some teasing or you know, I wouldn't say a full announcement, hey, we're coming out with a game. I feel like we could see some stuff at
Interesting.
Anime Expo.
Interesting.
So,
Anime
there's, like,
is one of the
logos for Zenless
largest
that was there?
anime gaming gotcha conventions. It's gotcha at this point because there's so many like, you know, damn companies taking up the main floor. But I feel like we could see something this year,
That'd
if
be
not
interesting.
next, if it depending on like where they are in development, they you know.
Yeah.
On the
So
big
you
stage.
said that there was like there's
Interesting.
logos of Zenless that were shown at Anime Expo.
I don't have pictures of it, but it damn, it was like 2021. Damn. And that point I wasn't even paying attention to Zenless Zone Zero. I forgot what it was, but there were like teasings of Zenless Zone Zero.
Okay, okay. Was this after the website or was this before the website? Because the website came up in 21, and I remember when the website came up, everyone was like so surprised that this was happening because it was like a whole new thing. But if there was like little small things and people just didn't realize Anime Expo, I think that's kind of sick. Like people could have realized sooner.
I wish my dimension didn't kick in because
No,
I
you're
wish I
good.
had a better
You're
answer for you. But like I remember it was legit the Anime Expo weekend when they announced or like
Wait,
they
is Anime Expo the
teased
same
Zenless
like month every time?
July, yeah, early July.
Hmm.
It might line up. If it doesn't, then I'm just fibbing. But
No. I don't
Someone
think
said
you
they
are
used to
kidding.
be building. They're still building their dev team. They saw recruitment. Rendang said.
Oh, for the Honkai team. I mean, aren't they always?
No,
recruiting?
for the new new game.
I'm actually spreading misinformation.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like the new Honkai game. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm just. This is so interesting to me. I'm
Yeah.
because I think it would be so sick if they did do that. Like if they actually teased shit at expos before it actually happened.
Yeah.
Hoyo's always recruiting
there was
though.
definitely some stuff. Around that weekend with Zenless Zone Zero as they were beta testing out Honkai. I didn't get to test it out because I didn't get in line, but yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, one more time. Where did you say? What month did you say that Anime Expo always
July.
It's always July 4th. It's July 4th.
Okay. So that was after the website then. Okay, because the website came. I just went back up when I posted my video reviewing the initial teaser. That was in May. That was May 7th. Actually, wait, no, because you said it was 21. That was May 7th of 22. So I'm lying. So if they did have Zenless stuff, that's crazy. That's actually really sick. I need find pictures. Lost media, find that. I want to see it.
I gotta, unless I'm actually trolling, because
No.
I distinctly remember them, doing some teasing stuff during Anime Expo.
That's sick.
Whether it was like at the direct booth or, man, actual smooth brain. Because like back then, Zenless Zone Zero was not on my radar. So,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah.
I mean,
Again, take it with a grain of salt, folks. I might actually be fibbing. So
No. I think that'd
Who
be
knows?
dope. I mean, I would love to see it there. Plus, I mean, it's not like Anime Expo is a small. Like they could definitely do
Yeah.
a reveal at Anime Expo. But yeah, I guess it just depends, like you said, of how far along they are in the game.
Mhm.
I just think it's interesting that they're like everyone knew that they were going to do this when they started releasing multiple games, but they are legitimately trying to get a game in every
different
market.
genre.
Like in every genre, they're trying to get a game in there, which is like, when are we going to call them a monopoly? But
my small indie company, you know.
yeah.
We need more yachts.
We do need more. No, we need the nuclear reactors. Is what
Oh,
they're the
shit.
funding for.
Yes.
Oh,
the
yeah,
nuclear
yeah.
reactor. Yeah.
They're funding the nuclear reactor.
How else are they gonna power the buildings? You know.
That's right.
Well, no, didn't they say that they like? Okay, I'm not gonna say it because it sounds stupid. But didn't they say in an interview like right before Genshin came out that Genshin is supposed to be like a prototype to the game they want to build, which is like literally a Sword Art Online version of Genshin.
Oh,
There
really?
was
Like, when
something
they
to that
developed-
effect.
Something- I remember
there's
something like that. I don't remember exactly.
Go into the game.
Yeah.
But like, where are you gonna get the power to do those devices? Nuclear reactors. That's how. That's why they're funding it.
That's right.
Nuclear reactor powered SAO.
Also, we're gonna get our nuclear content, nuclear reactors.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
exactly. But yeah, I think we've gone on long enough. Are we good to wrap up now?
Oh,
I miss you guys.
I miss you guys
I know,
too.
I know.
We could
missed
talk
you
for
too.
ages.
I know.
I missed you too.
No pun intended.
Puns always intended.
Right. But yeah, do we have any
What?
other topics?
I'm yapped out. I think, you know,
I
we can always
probably have to
circle
go.
back and-
I have to go finish packing.
Yeah, I need to go and do a final touch. I need to let this girl out first of all. You can see her. looking.
She's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
And
yes,
then I need, yeah.
I need to do my
And then I the
business."
final
Fly
touches
though,
on the-
fly though.
Yeah. Oh, flower bit. We're not going to talk about that, by the way, chat. I'm the only one who's done it so far.
can talk about it
we're
next
gonna
time.
we're going to let them experience it. Yeah, we'll talk about it next time. But yeah, so to wrap up, since I'm the host this time, Age, if you'd like to go first, since I introduced you first.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Introduce.
Introduce myself. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Hope you guys had fun. My name is HKK. I don't know how to pronounce my username. But yeah, I play lots of Zenless, Wua, Honkai Star Rail, Reverse, and hey, if the Notkai stuff is good, maybe I'll come back to Genshin too. We shall see. We shall see.
There we go.
And yeah, I post lots of reactions and covers on YouTube, and I'm trying to branch out and do more than just reactions. So I've been doing some story reviews lately, actually. So, anyways,
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's been exciting. But yeah, that's me. That's me. Thanks so much for having me. Sorry if I got a little bit heated earlier when talking about Genshin.
No. You need it to be heated.
I needed to
Action needs
let it
be
out.
shown.
My frustrations.
The passion of the Genshin, community flowed within
Yes,
you.
it went into my sternum and then had to come out. So, but yeah,
Yes, amazing.
that's me.
Goated, and congratulations on reaching partner as well.
Thank you
Huge
again.
job.
Thank you.
Everyone,
you.
don't forget to follow and check
Biggest
out
celebrity, big celebrity.
biggest celebrity, and then Josh, introduce.
Hey, folks. Yep. Things got a little heated at the end, but it was a fun conversation nonetheless. And hey, if you guys would like to catch more Zenless Zone Zero, a few Genshin stuff, I just started Wuthering Waves, so who knows? I could be, hey, you could see me there pulling for Zani, maybe. I think that's the character right now.
Yes.
And then there's
Yes, it
another
is.
rerun character in the Anniversary 90 before. Anyways, I get excited. Thank you guys for joining us, and you guys can catch me at Jshua on all my platforms as I continue to talk about Zenless Zone Zero, current events, meta. I'm more of like the meta guy. So yeah, like combat. Come check us out over here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm on.
Before you finish with the
Yeah.
big shebang. We do have a Minecraft server that we're starting next week.
Oh, is that next week?
It's already next week. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Oh,
it's already next week.
shit.
Yeah. It's already next week. So be on the lookout for us. You'll see us in the mines next week.
We'll
Probably.
be mining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Chicken
actually
jockey.
gonna be that's gonna be chicken jockey. That's gonna be so fun. Yeah, no,
gonna
I have
be
not played
hype.
Minecraft in a long time, so it's gonna be fun to.
Yeah,
to
same.
get
I haven't
again.
played
Yeah,
since
look forward
the
to
big
that.
update, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
lots of fun
We
stuff
do
to
have
explore.
a lot cooking in the background. We have a lot of ideas cooking up that we.
Oh
wanna do.
yeah, we do.
I actually am going to reach out after this podcast and see how quickly we can get that one thing that I was talking about done, which we don't need to go into right now, but I will.
Yeah, we'll let you
A
know.
little
Yeah.
teaser, a little
Yes.
teaser chat.
Little tease. Because anyway, my name is Azra Vanity. I stream on YouTube and Twitch. I'm on the opposite side of meta. I do lore. I mainly cover Zenless lore, but I am getting back into Honkai Star Rail. So maybe if I catch back up, then I can start making videos on Honkai Star Rail again. The only reason I dropped Honkai Star Rail before was because I would just dove head and entire body first into Zenless. But eventually, if I can ever make this a full-time thing, then I can get rid of my 9 to 5 and replace my 9 to 5 with other games. So that would be fun.
Hell yeah.
But yes, I stream on YouTube and Twitch. And what else? Oh, I'll be having a complete season 1 recap for Zenless. Speaking of the lore, it's gonna be like 2.5 hours long, probably. I have no idea exactly
Yes,
how
sir.
long it's gonna be.
It's gonna
but
be
probably
hype.
Gonna be around there. And then that'll get you ready for season 2 if you are not caught up on anything there. And an Exaltus vid coming soon. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining episode 8. Next
Rate
time
us
I think we'll
5
have a guest.
stars. You know you want to.
Yeah,
on now.
Yeah.
Spotify was Spotify
Yeah.
and Apple Music, I think, and other places. So yeah, make sure to rate the podcast, be goated, and share it with your friends and your mom and your grandma and the rest of your family. Because I'm sure they
And
would
your
love to hear
dog
us
and your
yap
cat
about
and your
gotcha
pet
games.
fish, turtle.
Yes, yep, that too. Yep.
Okay, let's cut it off before we go through the whole Noah's Ark. Bye,
Yeah, okay,
everybody.
Bye.
See
Bye,
you later.
guys.
Thanks for joining, Chad. I
Thanks for
appreciate it. Have a good night.
listening.
All right. Boop.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Spectacular. Yippee.
Fantabulous.
So did.
Yes.
Well, it's nice.
Now
It was
I'm tired.
good to catch up.
Yeah,
It's
I
been-
think
know,
we're
It's-
tired.
It's been a very busy week.
Yeah.
You were fucking caught in traffic like that. Like,
I know.
Bro, I'd be
I know.
mentally so checked out.
Well, honestly, I don't really check out in the I'm jamming to tunes. I was actually blaring Rappa's theme on repeat because I heard it for the first time
Yo,
yesterday.
it's so
and
good.
that shit is so good. Why is that theme so hype?
Oh, we
It
didn't
was sung
talk
by
about
Viola.
HSR. I wanted to catch
It's
up with you
okay.
and your HSR. We'll do it next
Oh.
time. We'll do it next time.
Yeah, I'll be more caught up
Yeah.
next time, so I'll have more to talk about. Because literally the
okay.
only thing that I finished is the Slumber Nano, which people don't want to hear about. I won't banana all over chat, so we'll.
Ooh,
we'll do something
is the
more
Slumber
later.
Nana before the Shanzo stuff? Next stuff? I think it
What
is.
Shanjo stuff.
There's like another arc, the Fei Shao.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
No, that's after. I already did the Fei Shao stuff.
Oh, okay.
The Fei Shao stuff is the curse stream where I went over 12 hours and I lost the last hour.
Oh, I see.
The fugue stuff. Have you haven't gone to that?
Next is the Sunday Fugue.
Yeah,
thing.
Sunday Fugue.
Yes.
Okay,
Mm.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's where
sounds
we are.
pretty
Okay, cool.
interesting.
So,
I'm excited for
yeah,
you to
I'm
get to
excited for you
Emporius.
to get
Holy shit. I am
know, I
so
really am too.
invested in Emporius. Once you get there, I'm going
very
to be blowing up your DM's ass.
Yeah, do it. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Cypher. She's a cutie. I want to see her
Yo,
on screen. I've been seeing
her
some clips
model
of
is
Cypher.
so good. Her model looks so
Her
good.
model looks really good.
I was gonna-
love me. Yeah,
I was
girl.
going to skip, and then I saw her model in game, and I was like,
It's really good.
"It's over.
It's really good.
It's over."
Yes. But yeah, I'm gonna peace out here. I got to do some final touches on the sponsorship video so I can get it out.
Oh yeah! Congrats on that again.
Approved. Yeah, thanks.
I also had my
I'm
first
gonna be using literally all of the money that I make from that into Zenless projects. I'm not gonna lie. I will be doing community stuff with it.
I got you.
100%.
But yeah, all right. Josh looks
But-
like he's about to pass out, so
Yeah,
All right.
you go rest, Josh.
I'll leave
All
you
right,
by.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna head out and pack. But yeah, bye guys.
See you later.
See
Oh
ya,
yeah,
see ya.
have fun on your trip. Like actually leaving to the. Yeah. Have fun
Yeah,
with
thank
that.
you, thank you.
And take
Please
pictures.
give us real-time updates.
Okay. All right, all
Give us
right.
some real-time Twitter updates.
Hell yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
But yeah. Bye bye. I'll let you guys know
Bye.
once I take a fat nap on the plane.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. I can't leave the call. I'm stuck. But yeah. Oh my god. Wait, guys, I'm not on the screen. 1 second. 1 second. I'll come back. Give me a moment. One moment. Haha! There I am. I've returned. But yeah. Oh my god. That was so fun. I felt like it's been so long since we did a proxy podcast, guys. Oh wait, let me fix my camera before I... Give me a second. Sorry, just resetting my layout. But yeah, how was it? That was so much fun. It was nice to just chat with, Josh and Az. Normally we have guests on, which are also really fun, but today was, oh my god. When we're by ourselves, we actually just we just started ranting. But yeah, okay, I haven't said bye to the other chat yet. Twitch chat, say bye-bye. We will be leaving the chat in a second, so say goodbye to everyone. Peace out. Peace out. All right. But yeah, how was it? How was it, guys? Did you have fun? You didn't show them Hubert age? I forgot. It's okay. I'll show them Hubert. I'll show them Hubert next time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so like mentally, I'm mentally clocked out. But yeah, since the chat is not here anymore, let's do crime. No crime. But yeah, it was really good. I had a blast. It was really nice to catch up with Josh and Az, because when was the last time we did a proxy podcast? I feel like it actually probably wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was super long ago. Because the last time we did was with Kede, which was on... It was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so I think it was like right before 1.7 came out. And yeah. That was a good yap. Yeah, it was a very fun yap, so... Yeah, no, don't cry, no thanks. I'm sorry, YouTube chat. I really wish I could include you guys in the whole stream together too. But hey, you still show up on my screen, okay? You still show up on my screen in the chat, even if you don't show up in like the chat itself. So listen, you're not silenced, YouTube chat. You guys are always there. But yeah, had a really, really fun time. I think, is Josh going to be done streaming? Is Josh done streaming? Is he ending?
We could keep Az going. Is Az still going?
Is he ending? No, I think he's looking for someone to raid. Okay. Well. Yeah, YouTube, the silent generation. Don't worry, YouTube chat. You were always here with me in my heart, okay? Hi guys, I want to ask a question. Did you do the Honkai Star Rail Hoyo Fair yet? Reaction yet? No, I haven't. I haven't taken a look at it. Maybe we can watch the Hoyo Fair actually next week alongside the special concert that will be occurring on Saturday, since I won't be able to see it live myself. So yeah, we can do like a Star Rail music stream. We can watch the concert. We can watch the Hoyo Fair. It'll be a good time. Followed after feeling vindicated by your Genshin rat. Got here, bro. 07. I'm glad you could have some solidarity. No, but I do love Genshin a lot. I miss it quite a bit. So hearing about the new stuff does make me quite excited. I'm looking forward to it, but I am quite jaded from everything thus far. So we'll see. If there is a good response, to the Notkai stuff, then I will give Genshin. I will re-download and we will take a look at it again. All right, guys. If it looks like there's gonna be some really good stuff, then I will give it a chance. I've been waiting for them to add content to the game that I am gonna be reinterested in. So it's good news to me. But yeah, Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it because I'll watch it on Aegis stream. 07, Wiz, you're a real one. Wiz, Grim, you guys are real ones. You have the willpower of the century. But yeah, no, I think that we had some really, really good chats earlier. It was pretty lit. And yeah, oh my god, okay, you know what? Josh is raiding Ruby, so we're gonna raid Ruby too. We're gonna raid Ruby as well. She'll get a double raid. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. I do have to top off now. I'm sorry I can't stay too long. I really still need to go finish packing, and it's already almost 11 p.m. So I will go do that. Thank you guys so much for coming. Hope you guys had a good time with the stream. I really did. I love the chats. I'm actually excited to listen to the podcast again later. But yeah, we are on Spotify and Josh's YouTube channel. So make sure to go check it out. If you guys want to see or listen to some of the previous episodes, give us a 5-star review. Like, subscribe. And yeah, hopefully you guys had fun. I will not be live for the next 3 or 4 days. 4 days probably. I probably will be recovering on Monday. I'll be so real. So yeah, I will see you guys next Tuesday for when I will return from the LA trip. I will be vlogging it, and I'll probably try to give you guys live updates on Discord and Twitter. But yeah, for everyone who is new here are my socials. I give stream updates on Twitter and Discord, and you can also drop a follow or sub on the channel to be notified the next time I'm live. But the next time I'm live will be next Tuesday most likely. So I will see you guys then. I'm so sorry for being so missing for the trips lately. After this trip, we will be back to business, okay? Back to normal business. But yeah, apart from that, take care, YouTube. I was starting to my outro. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye. I will try to give you guys a very good vlog, okay? 07.